People are awesome. I mean, knowing Sin will show up. Well, actually, Sin is streaming. Sin might not show up.
Oh yeah, he's doing a collab today.
It could be one of those few times that someone else will get to redeem the first redeem. Because it's always him, instantly. Someone said that they want to fight Sin over it, so this is pretty much their chance. Anyway, did I send everything out properly? Yes, I did. ID. So, I think I sent you the list, right? I thought you said you were okay with all of them.
Yes, I can't remember what all was on it anymore because my memory is really bad, especially right now, but yes.
Hey, that's A-okay. Most of them are just generic ones anyway, like I don't get it too much, well, somewhat. I listed a few in yellow, and like those are the ones that I've highlighted for myself where I was like, yeah, if I find like anything that like sounds as uneasy during those, then I'll just skip over them. Okay. And Sin Fable redeemed first. Okay, good to know. And Sin redeemed a drink, and then he's probably gonna lurk. And then that'll be it probably. Wait, is he still alive? Let me quickly see.
I don't know.
Getting sidetracked. Yep, there it is. Exclamation mark Rook. Oh yeah, I told him, in my native language, because he always, I don't know what the joke is, he probably made a typo or something so he doesn't type lurk, it's, L Rook.
I don't know why he always does it wrong.
Yeah, I know, so, like, he started doing this on purpose, and then there's actually, like, he said there's a few VTubers that have that as a command, on purpose, because they know he does it wrong. But the funny thing is, I was like, if you remove the L and it's just R-U-K, that means jerking off in my native, so... It's kind of funny, it's really weird for me to read it. Because to me, it almost sounds like it's just exclamation mark of jerking off.
Oh, that's so bad.
I mean, natives do, what can you do about it? Alright, well, let's get started. I think actually I don't even know the first one. What's actually the origin of your name?
When I created Thyme, I was working on restarting an old roleplay that I was doing with a bunch of my friends. And, actually all of the characters that I made for that had plant-related names. So that, I just kind of was going through different plant names that I thought would be interesting, and I just kind of randomly picked it.
Alright, thyme is a plant, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
right.
It's a spice.
Right, dude, I never connected that.
Yeah, thyme is a seasoning, I think, actually.
Up till now, I never connected that.
That's okay, I don't think many people thought about it that way.
That explains how you and Poker get along, just both plant life.
We're both plant, yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, dude. You can, what's the word? Bask in the sunlight together. I forgot the word.
Enjoy photosynthesis.
Yes, I couldn't think of it. I was thinking of photography. That's nothing.
But then I'm a goth and I don't like being outside.
What were some of the alternatives you thought about? Like, what were like some close seconds back then?
Well, I know some people at least will know this, but when I decided I wanted to try VTubing, I actually did a poll with about 4 different characters of mine, and I just asked people which one they thought would be the most interesting for a VTuber design, and yeah, Thyme won, so that's how I ended up with her.
Do you remember some of the others?
Yeah, my character Priya was one of the other ones. She is a Cupid.
Ooh, that would have been such a 180. That's like completely opposite of what you're now.
Yeah, kind of funny. Personality-wise, I'm way more like Thyme in terms of lore, so I mean, it worked out for me, but... and one of the other ones was my actual, like, my own persona, if you will, that was basically me as a cat girl. But,
cat girls are also hard to make it as, there's so many of them.
As much as I love cat girls, I'm kind of glad that didn't end up being the case, just because there's too many cat girls already, and I think I would have just kind of you know, gotten buried under a sea of
Yeah,
different cat
definitely.
girls.
Hi, typical swine. How are you? Welcome.
Hi!
But yeah, it's like definitely like cat girls and fox VTubers. There's like a billion of them, and it's so hard. Doesn't mean you got like. It sucks, right? Because on one hand, I always like advise people like, you know, maybe don't go into like the meta of like there's already like billion of them. But on the other hand, if that's what you wanna be, you gotta be that. Because like it's so many times people are like, yeah, I'm rebranding because I felt like I was gonna like be called out for like impersonating someone.
That was something I worried about too. I didn't want people to think that I was trying to copy somebody else.
Yeah, but like there's so many people that end up rebranding. I don't really know her too close because we've only like hung out like once, like before I even had my debut. But what was her name? Suri? I think it was like a friend of Spuff, like a dino VTuber. I don't remember exactly what type of dino it was. But I only realized recently when I saw her in my Discord chat that she apparently rebranded to like a shark VTuber. I was like, oh, hey, okay, and I didn't know you did a rebrand. And she was like, yeah, she kind of always wanted to be a shark, but like she was afraid of being called like a Gargura copy.
Yeah.
Which I can definitely see that. I was debating between, I think, an owl when I was gonna have my debut, but my debut was really close to like the Hololive Council, which had Mume, an owl VTuber. So I was really like afraid of like getting lesbic, and I don't regret my decision. I'm not one of them that's like, man, I wish I went for that in the end, because I think that I actually picked the right one out of the two in the end.
Yeah,
but,
I
like,
think so too, because yours is a lot more unique.
It's also like it's really rough if you have to like stream with like something that you're not like fully into, fully behind.
Yeah, for sure.
And it sucks the fun out of it, but then it's like, well, if you had like, it's also just scary, you know. You have money into your model, and then you have to get like another model and like another overlay, and you have to like switch everything over on top of the fan base that you've built up. It's like, well, you know, if they like you for like the VTuber you are right now. Then
yeah, exactly.
It's scary to like lose those people, even though, let's be honest, people are there for you. But like, that's easier said than done, you know?
Did I tell you, by the way, the first person whose stream I ever was on, their name was Ember as well, but
oh, really?
He ended up rebranding and is now going by Vincent, so kind of funny.
And
that was,
all
the
comes
first stream I
full
was ever
circle.
in. Yeah, first stream I was ever in, first VTuber Discord I was ever in was also his.
Yeah. Well, in secret I did know. I held him at gunpoint and told him to change his name. We don't talk about it. The less Ember start, the better, you know? But like, I love how I'm like, hey, I'll pick this name. It'll be nice and unique. And then I debut, and like, I forgot who it was. I think it was fucking Spuff. Like, a week after I debut, I was like, oh, by the way, did you know that there's this person called Ember-Ignis? I was like, great, dude, thanks!
Oh no!
Thanks for telling me this now. It's like only 2 people, I think. But that person also shows up when you look me up. Which is like,
well, the Ember I knew was a deer, so you definitely are nothing like that, Ember.
Not yet, not that you know of. My new lore coming out soon. Deer reveal.
You're secretly a deer.
Yeah. You know,
also, hi, Ray!
Sweet says they look like lobster claws in this model, but no, they're actually deer horns. They're just lit on
Deer
fire.
horns.
People that don't know it yet. I know like 20 embers, just kidding. I know one guy that's about to get banned. Just kidding. Oh, well, I mean, so you use this for roleplay, because the next question was who and what inspired you. Oh yeah, no, actually I know this answer, I don't think many people know. Who and what inspired you to do this, like, start VTubing?
Yeah, there's 2 of my VTuber friends were the reason I finally decided to try VTubing. I got interested in it because I started seeing, like, a lot of art all over my timeline. And I saw, like, clips and stuff from... Lumi was the one who I saw first, who I thought was really, really cute, but I never really got to the point of wanting to try it until I ran into... Sayo was the first person I ever watched VTube, and it was because I saw that Sayo did art streams, and since at the time, I was more interested in like expanding as an artist was what I was looking to do. And after seeing Sayo do art on stream, I thought that might be something that I could do. And talking to him and Nightmare they both encouraged me to give it a try. And originally, I was planning on only doing art streams, and then I was hoping to get into D&D streaming, which is kind of funny because I do almost no art streams or D&D stream. I didn't think I was good enough at games that anyone would want to watch me play games. So.
I think you have to. I think you give yourself like less credit than you deserve. But like D&D is definitely a rough one, especially since like you need to have a group every single week, and like
it's so hard with time zones.
Yeah, time zones suck ass, and like getting collabs with like more than just one or two people is already like such a hassle. Let alone like having to get together like every week, unless you're at like unless you're like a friend group that all goes to school together, like in real life. Then you have the same time zone and you have the same things to do. Or when you're at like critical role level where you don't have anything else to do, so like you just have
exactly because it's your job.
Yeah, you're at the point where you make money off of it. Then it's like, well, yeah, I know that they still do like voice acting things like primarily, but it's like you're adults. You could just say like this night every week we have off because we play our D&D thing, and they can't afford that because, like you said, they do make money out of that. Well.
And that was actually one of my motivations for starting VTubing, is after I heard that there was D&D VTubers, since my in real life group hasn't been able to get together for the last few years, obviously because of COVID stuff, because my best friend is immunocompromised, so and she and her husband are the two that normally do the DMing, so we haven't been able to do anything because we've been too afraid of her possibly getting sick.
Who needs a DM? Just do it
so
without a DM.
So my D&D group hasn't been together for like 3 years, and when I heard that there was D&D VTubers, I thought that might be a good way for me to find a new D&D group.
Chill, fuck your old friends. Who needs it? Dude, now that you reminded me, I was looking for stingers, right? Like the transition thingy. And I actually found one that was like, if I find it again, I could also send it to you. It's like a free-to-use D20 dice.
Oh, cool!
I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, dude, I kind of need to send that to Sweet if she ever runs a campaign again.
See, I actually have a cow-related one, but I don't actually know how to set up stingers yet, because I'm old and not great with technology.
Do you use OBS or Streamlabs?
I use OBS.
I'll help you after the stream. Funny enough,
cool.
I only just today had to help no, I didn't really help her much. I showed her how to do it.
Yeah, that would be really helpful, because I just don't know. I know I need to work on my stream in general that way, because I don't even have my panels properly set up, because I don't know how.
Oh, I can help with that as well. Yeah, no one bothered to help me with that. Y'all bitches, I had to fucking Google every single bit myself, and it's supposed to say, no, I'll help you. I was like, no, you did not. I had to, because like, even last week, I had to look up how I make like the follow and the subscriber thing scroll from right to left. Because people like Major Freedom have a name that's too big, so he would like stick out of the box, so I had to figure out how to make it like scroll. Again, Stuff was like, I don't know how to do that. I was like, yeah, thanks. I'm glad you're
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that either.
I had to look up so much shit and basically self-taught.
See, Nightmare was the one who helped me, and Sayo, but Nightmare was the main one who helped me out with setting up my stream, and since he stopped VTubing a couple of months ago, so without him around, I haven't had my usual go-to person to cry to when I can't figure stuff out. Rang has been helpful. Rang has been very helpful with that. I have to give props since he's here in the chat. Rang has helped me a lot with that too.
No.
Although we never did figure out my speakers. I've kind of given up on them. I think my speakers are just dead.
We don't credit Rang around these parts. We don't. Fuck Rang.
I still also haven't been able to get my Elgato to properly work since I moved, so. maybe at some point I'll figure that out. I don't know.
Hell yeah. I can have a look with that with you as well.
Okay.
If you hadn't been doing this, so if you didn't end up featuring, what would you have done instead? Would you just have like plunged yourself into artisting?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. Like, I was looking into, like, I wanted to get more commission work, but I also was really hoping to get into game dev. It's something I'm still kind of wanting to try doing. I've been talking to a couple people about maybe working with me on that, but that's one of the things that I wanted to try doing with my art. I thought making games, because I've always just loved games in general, so...
Did you have anything in mind back then? Like, would it like be a pixel style game, or like what genre of game, or did you never like think it out that far?
I have a full script written for an otome game, like a female version of a dating sim, basically, that I was hoping to make. The problem for me has been the coding, which is one of the reasons why I've been talking to people like Foxify and So about potentially helping me with that, because I can do the art and I can write a script, but I can't code, so...
Yeah,
I mean,
without the coding, there's not much of a game.
It's really hard, and it's something that I think if I had someone to teach me one-on-one, it might be different, but I have a hard time learning something if don't have someone to show me how to do it.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way, I'm a visual learner that way, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like that too. If I see something and like someone shows me how to do it, it's easier. Cause like someone can like explain me how to do something. Like I got helped with what was it? Oh yeah, switching around the Fugi thing, where it's to the new version, and then I was like, it's probably really simple. If someone could show me, then the new version didn't help. The new version is awful. So thanks for the help. I switched back. You're welcome. I'm back at the old one, and I am not switching. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna stay like this, and I like it because people are weird, and then they have correct ass models, and it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, I think I talked about this with Rang. Sweet has a fucked up tiny model, so it's like very small. So he's like, yeah, I usually cut Sweet out of it, and then I just get Sweet in separate, and then do it on top of the group one. I was like, then that already defeats the purpose. Then Zin has this model, but has like miles of like blank space on each side of its model. So there's like so much space between Zin and someone else, and he floats, so like he's like higher off of the ground than anyone else. So it fucks up every proportion that you tried to get right. It's like, dude, fuck this. I'm not using this.
Pokins actually came in super huge, by the way, too, when we did our last Pokemon collab. And it was kind of funny. We were actually commenting on it, because his is right now just, when it shows up on Fugi, it's just like a face, but it's like a huge face. And it looks really goofy next to my model.
Great. It's always the funniest.
Hi, Sin! How's it going?
Cindy. You weren't here. It actually took Zin a while to redeem the first, so this would have actually been your chance if you had been in time. Right, okay, I already asked this. Oh yeah, what is the best comment you've ever received so far? Or what is one that stuck with you? Or a few of them? Minecraft villager noise?
What's that?
You sound like a Minecraft villager noise. It's a
That's a hard one.
It is. It's a good question.
Generally, like, most of the really good comments I think that I've gotten have been on my art more than on my streaming. People generally, I mean, I get lots of consolation because I do so badly in game.
Nah, you have people in your chat telling you, nah, you're doing fine, don't worry.
Yeah, no, that when I failed that Nuzlocke last week, the amount of people that were consoling was very, very touching, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I love how you have like on one side you have so many people consoling you, and then you show up at me and like, you lost to a rock type gym leader with a water starter? How the fuck?
Hey, Okay, it's worse than that. I had 2 water Pokemon and I still lost.
What the fuck, dude? Come on, that was the easiest. Dude, I have to watch that one back because I haven't watched the VOD back yet, but I can assure you, you'll get at least like 5 caps lock messages from me once I see you lose that. Somehow.
I mean, from what I've heard, I think I was like way too under-leveled. I was trying too hard to catch up because Pokken had already beaten the gym and had gone on to the next town. So
yeah, but
I
who
was
cares?
rushing.
Pokken is a tryhard. I mean, he tryhards in whatever game he plays.
Yeah, thank you, Sin. It was a brutal fight. Okay, when I went into that Granados battle, I had my full team still. That thing managed to KO my entire team, literally.
Well then.
Like, I came really close. It's just, if my Pokemon hadn't flinched that one time and it attacked, I think I would have won.
Which Pokemon was Platinum, right?
Yeah.
I'm
I
cooking.
had Piplup and Psyduck. And Psyduck took out like all of the other Pokemon, which is why I still had like a full team.
Oh right, no,
But,
I was looking up, but I was gonna say, but Piplup doesn't learn Aqua Jet. I was like, well, if you learned Aqua
No.
Jet, then you should just been able to outspeed it, but no, you don't.
No, my Piplup only had Bubble, so... And Psyduck
Oh,
only
you're
had...
right. It needs to be
Water gun, I
fucking.
think?
It needs to be 22 before it learns a Bubble Beat. That's dumb. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, so, like, it was pretty close. The problem really was just that it outsped all of my Pokemon, so every time I brought in a new one, before I even got a chance to attack, it was one-shotting them. Because the rest of the team was, like, pretty under-leveled still.
Yeah. I mean, when does it evolve? 16, I think, right?
Yeah, and I think Pokken said that his had already evolved when he went to that gym. I didn't wait to evolve, I just went right in there.
Oh, you know the starting town, right? And on the left there's a lake.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I usually do, also hi Jelly Loaf.
Hi, Jelly!
I usually play with Chimchar, so I go to that lake, I fight, then I heal up at home, then I fight, and then literally it'll evolve, because Chimchar evolves at 14, I think. Or is it 15? One of those. And then I basically, before I even progress on to the next town, it's already evolved before I've caught anything. So then I get to that. To be fair, I mean, as soon as it evolves, it learns fighting type moves, so you just punch the crap out of the thing and it dies.
Yeah, my original starter for that game was also Chimchar. This was the first time I'd gone through it with Piplup, but it's also my first time doing a Nuzlocke, and I normally don't play this way. I normally grind a lot like that too before I go to a gym. Like I said, I think honestly if I hadn't have been trying to catch up to Pokken, it wouldn't have happened. Because I was really close.
Hey yo, I did not listen, Jelly Loaf. It was a misunderstanding. Stop. Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately though, that was my downfall, is I was just trying to keep up with Pokken. But lesson learned, I know not to do that now.
Hey, man, yeah, but now you're switching games, right? I mean...
I swapped games. He's, I think, gonna keep going with his, but I went back to Crystal.
I think that's a good one. That is definitely the one that I think in total, in my childhood, I think I did the most playthroughs of Platinum, but I definitely sunk the most hours into Soul Silver.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
And funny story about that is I've never actually beaten Gold or Silver. The first time I played, I think, was Silver, but I played the game before it was released in English, so I played it with like a fan translation of the first bit of the game. And
Nice.
I was really young, and I was like super edgy still and wanting to be like cool, and when I saw that they changed the names of all the characters, I was so mad that I never actually went and played the English release. So I've never actually beaten this game. Right? I was that trying that hard to be cool, and
Damn.
yeah, no, that's how much
man.
I rejected dub stuff back then, was I just refused to play the game.
That's so cool. I'd say you're cooler now than you were back then. Fuck edgy shit, dude.
Oh hell yeah, way cooler back then.
No, I don't think you were cooler back then, hell no. Edgy people aren't cool, even though they think they are.
Oh, I thought I was.
What do you like doing in your spare time? Well, I mean, I know you do play games and draw.
Yeah, I play games, I draw, I watch anime.
Alright, alright.
Yeah, I definitely watch a lot of shows.
What are you currently watching? Like, 3 favorite things that you're currently watching?
Let me think. I actually just finished a bunch of shows, so, funny enough, Digimon, Atmon, I think is one of the few. I'm like halfway through it.
Right.
I restarted watching, what the hell is that show called? It's an old Netflix show that I only watched part of the first season, and it's got like 8 seasons, so I decided I'd go back and watch it, see if it got, or how it ended up turning out, but I'm blanking on what the name of it is. It's one of those teen drama kind of shows.
Like, Stranger Things.
No, I just finished that. I just finished watching the new season of that. That was fucking great. I loved it. It was really good. I really liked it. There was a lot of homage to horror movies, and I'm like a huge horror movie fanatic, so I really appreciated the new season a lot. They had the original actor who played Freddy Krueger did a cameo in the new season of Stranger Things. So
oh really? I didn't
excited.
know that.
I didn't either until
you saw
I was watching it, and I was like, wait a minute, I know that actor. And yeah, it ended up being Freddy Krueger.
So, if you're into horror, what would you say, like, your 3 all-time favorite horror movies?
That is always such a hard question. My go-to generally, when people ask what my favorite is a movie called The Orphanage, and it's a Spanish movie. It's one of Guillermo del Toro's older movies. It's a haunting kind of movie, and it is phenomenal, and I think it's something that unfortunately most people don't watch because it's not in English, but it is an absolutely amazing movie. I generally try to force everybody I know to watch it because it's that good.
Yeah, I'm like looking it up now. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's so good. It's such a good movie. The Scream franchise is definitely high up. It was like it was what really jump-started me into horror. So I always have to mention, like, I don't know which one. I guess 2 is probably still my favorite. Like but I love the franchise. It was huge for me. Like it was such a huge part of my. I mean, I was in 7th grade. 6th grade. I was in grade 6 when I first saw Scream. It was 1999. And
a gothic supernatural horror film. That explains.
Oh, The Orphanage? Yeah, it's a really cool movie. Like the story and everything it's very well written. Anybody who likes Guillermo del Toro in general, I recommend watching, because again, it's an older one and it's only in Spanish. Like obviously it's subtitled, but because it's an older one and it wasn't done in English originally, a lot of people have never heard of it, or they just don't bother watching it. But I think it's his best movie easily.
Yeah. But like,
third, I'm not really sure though. Like, there's so many really great horror movies that I've rewatched over and over. Wreck might be the one I'd say, which is funny because it's another Spanish horror movie, and again, another one most people don't know. Although it was remade in English and into the Quarantine movies. But the Quarantine movies changed the story a lot, so again, I generally recommend people go back and actually watch the original, because it is quite a bit different. And it was one when I first watched it, it scared the crap out of me.
So, you understand Spanish then, if you're watching Spanish movies?
I don't, although, funny enough, my roommate is bilingual and speaks Spanish, but I don't.
How are you watching Spanish horror films? Can you not understand anything that's happening?
They're subtitled. They're subtitled.
Oh, dude, you should have told me that. Because I was like, well, yeah, I hope you don't ask me, because I can't be asked to watch something that I don't understand, but if it's subtitled...
No, I definitely recommend both of those. I mean, I don't generally get scared in scary movies anymore, but, like, at the time, I found both of them scared me. Now, not really. I am really big into watching foreign horror movies, though, because I find that a lot of the newer English ones they're just they're more like torture porn sort of things, and I'm not really into that. I like supernatural horror more than I like, and movies that make me think. Ones that are like subtly creepy that just kind of creep up on you. Especially like I find Japanese and Korean horror really good.
Yeah, Japanese ones are like really good. I like love a lot of those.
Creative. Yeah, me too. They're really creative.
It's so like out of the meta of like what like horror movies are now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. They're way
so
different.
many of them are like the same. Obviously, you have like some like special things like It or something that like really like take off and are like just great ones. But like
I do love the It movies.
in general, right now, a lot of them feel the same or like as copies of each other's. And definitely like the Michael Myers movies are also still going, and I still like those like a lot. I really think that those are still like really innovative. But a lot of other ones come out, it's the same shit again and
There's
again.
There's too many
it's
remakes in Hollywood. That's the problem lately with horror, anyways. Like so many of the new quote unquote horror movies are just remakes of old ones.
Yeah, there was what was the movie? There was like you know, The Shining, maybe, right?
Yes.
Because I think you talked about. And then there was a movie, right, that was either inspired by that, an homage to
sequel.
it. And it kind of like, yeah, it kind of leaned into it, and it was so much not great.
I haven't watched it yet, but it's the sequel, and it actually is based, like Stephen King did actually write a sequel to The Shining, but I haven't actually read it, and I haven't watched it yet. I've been kind of not sure if I want to or not. Just, the original was so good that I just don't really know how they could possibly top it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say because I don't feel if I look up the Shining sequel, I get Doctor Sleep, which that is definitely not. Yeah, that might be like the official sequel, but there was like another movie that was like an homage or like kind of like a hint towards it. But that one just sucked. It was so not good.
Oh,
it was
then I'm
honestly.
glad I didn't watch it.
That one was like such an insult to like the fucking original Shining. It's like, what? Also, Jellyloaf, this is an unrelated question, but fuck it. Jellyloaf wants to know what's your first impression of his name.
It makes me think of jelly rolls, and I like jelly rolls. They taste good.
Okay, so only I am the one that had the first weird impression of his name. Okay, good to know.
What did you think when you saw it?
A bread loaf mixed with jelly. I was like, that sounds disgusting. So that's a joke.
Oh.
That's why he keeps bringing that up. Because the first I was like, jelly loaf? That sounds disgusting. What the fuck? And then he say, no, it's literally just a loaf of jelly. I was like, oh. Yeah, no, that sounds a lot better. I'm sorry, but no, they don't let it go.
And I just think of jelly rolls, because I like jelly rolls. They're really good.
I'm getting harassed now every single time they tune up into my stream. She said I'm a disgusting loaf. Yes, that's fine. You know, I explained my reasoning. I can't do much more than that.
Hey, if that's the first thing that came to mind when you saw it, I kind of get that.
Thank you. Finally someone that gets it.
I happen to be somebody who really loves baked goods, so obviously that's where my mind went.
Oh, dude, whenever like anyone's going on about food, then it's so amazing. I was in a call yesterday and someone was having soup and it made me hungry. I was like, oh,
I
dude.
definitely am a big food person.
I wanted to. Justice for jelly. Hell yeah.
I think I've mentioned, but I'm also a big fan of like cooking shows and stuff, even though I can't cook.
Why do I always happen to say something that includes someone the second they show up in my stream? What are the chances, dude? That's just my luck. That is just my luck. I mentioned something and then they're like, oh, they're here.
Oh, hey, there's Mango and Pokin. Hey, guys!
How are you? Wait, what's that 19 in front of your name? What the hell? Oh, TwitchCon 2019, San Diego.
Oh, interesting.
You get badges for that? Wait, what
kind of soup? What kind of soup was it?
Oh, fuck, I got told this. It was... Shit, it was chicken something. Wait, is it in
I
my?
like chicken soup.
It's probably in my. No, it's probably in my. Oh no, Oh no, my Streamlabs. Whoops. Yeah, it was chicken soup. I'll just have to look it up what it was, because I got the. I googled it because I was like, what is it? You know the most
Chicken soup
annoying
is good.
part? I can't just simply look at yesterday, because, you know, it was past midnight, because I'm weird like
Yeah.
that. So it's 1 a.m. Oh, what time did we start?
Oh, Rang, I'm jealous. I miss beef stew. I love beef stew. I just can't eat it anymore, sadly.
And see, Ember, I thought your name was cool, and you think that I'm a disgusting loaf. Okay, shut up! I explained it. We don't have to do this. Chicken. Chicken congee, that was it.
Oh, I've never had that. That's like a... It's Korean or Vietnamese style, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like well, it looked like a kind of creamy soup.
Mm-hmm. It's something that... It's like a comfort food that they make in places like Korea that they usually give when people are sick. I've never tried it, but it looks tasty.
Chicken conga line? Yeah, chicken conga line.
Yeah,
that's exactly
it. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so when you first started out, were you like embarrassed to tell people what you did? I mean, obviously not like other people around you, but more like your family or
My family,
friends.
That's actually kind of a funny one. My parents definitely still don't understand it.
Yep.
My mom has like heard me watching other people's streams, and she always looks very confused, and she really doesn't understand what we do at all. I've sent her a few clips, and again, she's like, I don't really understand. My dad definitely has no idea what I'm doing or what I do, and it's honestly like I've told him, but thankfully I'm thankful that he hasn't actually tried to watch it or anything, because I think he would probably be horrified.
Oh, you know, my mom wanted to watch it, and I said no. And I just never gave it out. I am not gonna give out my Twitch so that they can watch. I would cringe. Yet another good thing why I do it at night. And I was like, you wouldn't be able to watch it anyway. Like, by God, I hope she never finds out that bots exist. Because then she's gonna bring it up again. So I heard about this thing called bots. That actually stands for, and she's probably gonna Google what it means.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like something recently, and she was like, oh, that's a cryptocurrency. Amber, are you into I'm like, no, I'm not. What the fuck gave you the idea that I'm into like bitcoins and like cryptocurrency? Like, I don't even know the first thing about that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, my
dude?
family was asking me about crypto too. I just was like, just stay away from it, you guys.
Yeah, and she's just sitting around, and we were eating dinner, and she's like, so, cryptocurrency, huh? Have you done? I'm like, what is this interrogation, dude? She's she's honestly so kind, but then sometimes she's like way weird. It's like that time where, what was it? I was eating something. Oh no, yeah, that was the weirdest thing that she's ever said, and she didn't even realize it. And I was like, nah, it's probably too much. And then she just looks at me, and she like fully casual just goes, oh come on, you'll be able to swallow that much. And I was like, hey yo. Like, I don't even think she realized what she was saying. I was like, okay, good to know. My mom thinks I can swallow a lot. It's, reassuring to know.
Oh, that's funny.
She didn't realize what it sounded like, so she was so confused. And then my sister was holding it back so much.
Emily is definitely... Actually, now that I think about it, my brother knows that I stream, but I don't think he's ever watched it. My stepbrother, on the other hand, has watched me stream. I know, because he's subbed to me before.
I see.
He also streams, so...
What's your Twitch name? Is it just ThymeTuber, or is it like a dash in between it or something?
It's just ThymeTuber, yeah.
Got it. Oh wait, no! It's shoutout ThymeTuber. I know my own command. There you go.
Yay!
Yay! And then we just put that. No, I can't delete. Why can I not delete my own message? Whenever someone asks me about crypto, I just tell them to think of penny stocks from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, NFTs are just, they're bad all around. I just tell people to just stay away from them. Just, you don't want to get involved in that crap. Although I did have a few people like, I don't understand why you don't try and use your art with NFTs, and I'm like, I don't want to support that. I just don't.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's way too shady. I don't like the idea. I'd rather stick with doing what I'm doing and commissions and that sort of stuff.
Dude, I fucking love the memes that people make where it's like, yeah, I'm into NFTs, neat freaking trees, so like, love fucking paying taxes.
Yeah, totally. I love that too.
Nice freaking tits, like things like this. I love those.
Speaking of memes, a lot of my free time I spend hanging out watching Rang do meme streams and stuff. I quite enjoy watching people do meme streams.
Yeah, I tried watching it, but he's kind of quiet on those streams. I wonder why.
You just didn't tune in early enough, that's all.
Yeah, man, it's like my audio just randomly breaks whenever I watch him. It's so weird. It's like, I just hear nothing. It's kinda, and then it's modeled there, kinda like spazzing out, like almost like it fell asleep. Who'd fall asleep on the stream, dude? It's kinda...
I'm actually sad that I missed that. That would be so funny.
Like, yeah. Only thing it could be worse if it happened like twice in 1 week. Did you have a celebrity crush in like your childhood?
I never was really big into celebrities. I definitely had lots of anime characters that I liked. Like, I hardcore was like a super big fan of Ash from Pokemon. That was like my first anime crush when I was a kid.
Ah, yeah, good to add that. Yeah, well, when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, I was in grade 6, so I was pretty young. That was when I first got into role-playing, too. My first roleplay was Pokemon roleplay, so... I was all about the Ash and Misty.
There, I gave the person who didn't think I'm disgusting a follow. There you go, Jelly Love followed you.
Oh, thank you for the follow! Thank you!
There you go, well, she thought you were weird. No, you didn't say that. I don't need to. She said that she could see where my opinion came from. That's what you said. Hold on, before I put words in your mouth. That's not what you said. Yeah, I was gonna, dude, I would have left my ass if Walt Rag is here. You would just cast it like, yeah, in my childhood, I used to be into Kakashi from Naruto. Rag hates that character.
Which character?
Cause like any Naruto character pretty much, cause he always gets shit on by people using Naruto skins in Fortnite.
No,
Pokemon
and then Dragon Ball Z and then Digimon were like the ones that like I was old enough that I actually had like anime crushes, so
I still roleplay and now I have fucked the dragon. Oh yeah, you got a dragon pregnant or not? Yeah, Jelly just came into my last stream very casual. I was like, oh yeah, I impregnated the dragon. That was the extent of it.
Does that mean that Jellies is like what do they call them? Scalies? Is that what they call people that are furries but are into like lizards and stuff? Dragons?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. I don't want to know the details, and Brank did, so it's like, yeah, you know what? He's like Donkey from Shrek. Oh yeah, Kenna was watching Shrek back. No, Kenna got a full Shrek version on Discord in like a box the size of like a mini player. It was super pixelated, and she was like skimming through it, and I was like, that's right! Donkey fucked the dragon in that movie. I forgot about that. That is like such a... When you think about it, like that is such a fucking weird... How does that work? It's like, John, you don't think about it. It's like, right, a donkey fucked the dragon in that movie. How the hell?
Especially because a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people who watch Shrek
not
the first
me,
time
of
were
course.
young. Well, I was old already. I mean, I wasn't old. I was in high school already when I saw Shrek. But I mean... Yeah, a lot of people, when they saw Shrek, were still really young, and when you're really young, that doesn't really occur to you that that's what they're actually hinting at.
That's funny, haha, he got together with a dragon, and then later when you're older, you're like, how does that work? Like, how...
Because they had babies in the second movie?
Yeah, weren't they like a half... Yeah, they were like dragons with donkey hats, right? Or like kind of mixes between. They were like inbred creatures. I love the tangents you are both on, yeah.
Rukia, who the fuck is that? Rukia from Bleach. It's okay, Rang and I both I really have a thing for like strong
So my
women.
first anime crush is, oh yeah, Ryan probably just wants to get his head crushed like a watermelon. Like,
It's funny because Rang and I think, have like pretty similar taste in women. Drunkies, yeah.
How would what are people that are like instantly close to you? Like, how would someone get to like instantly be like close to you? Like, is there like something specific where you're like, okay, if a person acts like that, or like it's just this type of person, I feel like I can connect with them like very easily and become like close friends.
See, it's really easy in real life because all you have to do is give me food.
It's true, relatable.
Online, it's probably a little bit trickier. As long as we have like something in common, it's usually pretty easy to get me to start talking to you, but I'm pretty difficult at first because I'm kind of not the most social person, and I get really overwhelmed when I have a lot of people talking to me, so I tend to like forget to reply to people.
Right. I mean, there's enough in common. I mean, most people have 2 eyes. You do have 2 eyes, so... If you have 2 eyes, feel free to hit up Thyme and you'll become great friends.
It's pretty easy to get a conversation going with me, though, if you're interested in, like, obviously Digimon is one of those shows that I've been into since I was like a little kid, so it's something that will get me talking really easily. But that and like art stuff, I generally, especially, I mean, talk to me about my OCs, and generally you'll get me to never shut up.
Right.
So
thank you for the raid, Sin. How are you? How was stream?
Hi, Sin. Hi, Raiders.
But yeah, definitely, if you have like something big in common, it's like so much easier to like talk about something, right?
Yeah.
Why is it so small?
Sure.
Why is the alarm box so small? What the fuck? Well, whatever, dude.
And for me, part of it is definitely because my favorite kinds of games tend to be pretty niche, so when I find somebody that's interested in the same games, I usually get pretty excited and I'll talk to them quite a bit about it.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm really into like visual novels and stuff, which is not something that's super popular out here, so
I mean,
I in farming games like Stardew and Harvest Moon, so...
Yeah, and you get limited by the motion sickness thing, right? So like a lot of like your typical popular games are like not really compatible with you. I hope the coral thing is, because I realized later on, like, oh, right.
Oh yeah, I that's one of my Kickstarter backed games, so I ordered it like over a year ago. That's another thing. When I had money and was still working normally, I was like very addicted to Kickstarter, and I kickstarted a lot of games. I'm really big at trying to support indie devs, so that's something that's important to me because it's really hard, obviously, and to make a game yourself.
Yeah, and definitely big companies have it easier, and that's why just look at like Cyberpunk, man, great game, big money company.
Yeah, exactly, and it's easy for a bigger game company to get their game noticed, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the game did get noticed, not in a good way, because the game sucked dick,
but still.
It did get noticed.
See, and that's just it, like Sweet said, that was one of the things I was worried about, actually, was people thinking that if I'm streaming visual novels, I'm, like, not a real gamer and not really into games, but it's something that I really enjoy, which is why usually I don't play them on stream. I normally play them by myself, but I have been wanting to do more.
If you feel like, I mean, it depends on if you want to like chill with them, just like you by yourself, or if you do want to stream them. But I mean, if you feel like streaming them, like, you should just do it. I've definitely streamed some things that I'm like, yeah, nah, maybe people aren't interested, but I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Cause like, I didn't know much about the Bugsnax game. It's like, it seems fun, I'm just gonna stream it, and then a week later, everybody and their mom streaming. I'm like, well, fuck.
You were ahead of the game on that one?
No, I didn't finish it though. I'm like, oh dude, so every stream I do from now on, I'm gonna get like, no one outside of my like typical fan base coming in, cause everybody is like, watching bigger people streaming the exact same thing. That's why, like, I always wanted to do, like, God of War, but that's why I waited so long to do it, because I was like, by the time that I started doing it, like, the game has been out for, like, what, 2, 3, 4 years by now, so I was like, I can now stream it without like the entire page being full of people that play that damn game. Cause it's definitely the hard part. Like I always, like I just told you, play whatever you want. But like streaming like Overwatch or Valorant, you are barely gonna get like any outside viewers that don't already follow you. 'Cause if you just type in Valorant on Twitch, there's so many people like playing that damn game.
That's actually, I've said that to other streamers that have been like asking for advice or whatever, is that I find that, yeah, if you're playing the same game as everybody else, that's that many people that you're in a pool with, and I mean, you have to have something really that makes you stand out for someone to pick you over all of the other streamers.
I mean, sometimes you just have to, right? Like I enjoy playing League. League is kind of popular, but I still like, I'm just gonna play it. But it's like, if you're like someone that like only streams Valorant, and then like it's always the same people that are like crying on Twitter that growing is so hard. I'm like, dude, you're 1 in a million people streaming Valorant, because everybody and their grandmas are fucking playing Valorant, streaming it. There's no one that doesn't play Valorant and not stream this. It's so like, it's such a bad, especially if you're still small, it's such a bad game to start off with, and it's so hard to like get anywhere.
I actually felt that with when we first got the Pokemon, that whatever one that you, me, and Rusty were doing together, I was a little bit worried about that with us streaming it.
The small one or Arceus?
Not Arceus, the one before it.
Diamond and Pearl one.
Diamond Pearl one, yeah. I was a bit worried because there was just so many people playing it that I didn't think anybody was gonna want to come watch me.
I will say it low-key. Do you know how many Hololive people played that game? Like, yeah, I've always been into Pokemon. And like, how does this work? How does the catching work? I'm like, You've always been such a big Pokemon fan, but you don't know how a simple catching a Pokemon works. That hasn't changed up till Arceus.
Yeah.
It's like, I highly doubt that you've... Like, it's always the same. People have always magically been so into the franchise.
It's that's always bugged me, because I got bullied for liking Pokemon when I was in elementary school.
Oh, I had that too.
So many people I know now are just, like, all these people that I've known for so long are suddenly into Pokemon, and I'm like, you used to make fun of me for liking Pokemon, what the hell?
It's like when you were like 10, I think it was like when I was like 10 or 12, it was obviously like way past like the period where I got really badly bullied, so... At that point, I didn't care. I was like, oh, you're like 12 and you're still into Pokemon? I'm like, who the fuck cares still? What's the problem to you?
Yeah, exactly.
You're 12 and you still act like a fucking rejected dipshit? It's not my fault, dude.
Also, I see that Jelly can make mochi, and I am very impressed. I would love to learn how to make mochi. I can make Japanese curry, but I can't make mochi.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude, my mom never makes curry, and I had to explain what it is. I was like, how do you not know?
I love Japanese curry. Like, a lot of, like, most cultures curry I can't eat because it's too spicy. I can't do it with my stomach. But Japanese curry is milder, so I have no problem eating that. Speaking of that, so that's another topic. You ever want to get me on a tangent? Ask me about Japan. I was there for over a month. I fucking love Japan. I love the culture. I love the food. I love the media. I basically just love everything about Japan. It's a flawed. It's got flaws. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I love Japan in general. So that's something. I had originally talked about doing a stream talking about my trip, and it just has never ended up happening. So maybe someday.
Hell yeah!
You live in Japan? Oh, dude, that is so cool. I love it there. I love it. I would love to go back one day. Someday, I hope I get to.
Sorry, I was, okay,
I've never tried okonomiyaki either, actually. I'm sad that I didn't get around to trying it when I was in Japan, but that's one I haven't actually tried.
Okay, what would you say is your biggest pet peeve? Like something that grinds your gears, like something that like really annoys you? I know one thing about clearly because you've been like fighting it off on Twitter, but like obviously that's a quite a dangerous topic about that person.
Yeah, we'll
And
avoid talking about that.
that person's already under fire enough by the whole internet right now. So I
Yeah,
mean,
the person that was, you know, trying to start a flame war with me and failed miserably, which I'm happy about.
right?
But actually, like we were just talking about, for me, a big thing that irritates me about the Twitter VTuber community is actually the people that just sit around and complain all the time about not getting enough viewers or engagement or whatever, but then they aren't really willing to actually do anything to work on getting better at it. You know what I mean? Like the ones that are just so stubborn about they only want to play like this one game, and you know they want people to follow them, but they don't want to have to, you know, go and follow other VTubers, and they don't want to make an effort to actually try and like collab with people or anything. They just want to complain and talk about how, you know, X group of people is just better at, or is luckier with VTubing and has more people that want to watch them and that sort of thing.
No. Fuck you.
No?
Not again. No. I'm not having a hype train ever again. Don't start this shit again. I got bullied into a hype train when I was collabing with Plague and Harm.
Oh, see. Oh, it's Kenna. Hi, Kenna.
Yeah,
Also,
hi.
I want to learn how to make taiyaki sweet. I love taiyaki. It is so good.
I said
Oh my
you
god! Hype train! Maybe? Maybe?
No, definitely not. Okay,
Still, that is freaking awesome.
Yep.
Heck yeah! Yay,
Heck
Kenna!
yeah! Okay. Good night, everyone.
Oh, and Sim
Dude,
too.
doesn't
Holy.
matter. They just keep gifting. Even if I just go to the ending soon thing, they just keep gifting. It doesn't
Oh
help.
my gosh! You guys are amazing.
No, why? Why is this a thing? Why is this happening? That's the wrong thing. No. This is the one. There you go. I hate everyone here. Just stop doing this. My pockets are so full. What do you mean? They're not full. I know, actually, yeah, they're full. Don't give me anything else. Oh, my pockets are full. Stop.
I welcome you all to come watch and start a hype train for me when I stream with Pokken on Wednesday, because I've never had one. Just, you know.
That is my
Plug,
second
plug.
one ever. Yeah, plug. Go give it to Thyme instead. She's more worth it. Instantly
No,
up
you
to
do
level
too.
4.
I think that's awesome.
No, don't shut up. Anyway,
Yeah, I am going to be. I should anyways. I'm planning to keep working on my second attempt at a Nuzlocke on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. It might happen. We'll see. Hopefully. Pokken and I are at least, and we intend to try and continue on Wednesday. So.
okay, it's, fuck, dude, now I'm like all over the place again. Dude, I hate this.
They distracted you too much?
Yeah, okay, so, like, it's like, wait, oh yeah, so, like, so people that just don't follow back, that was your answer?
No. I mean, people that complain about not getting anywhere in the community without actually putting in any real effort to it.
Right.
The ones that complain that are like, oh, women have it so much easier because they have sexier models, or, you know, just that sort of thing. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, that definitely annoys me to, like, a certain point as well, especially since, like, I made it to affiliate without even having, like, a life to do thing, so, like, the idea, it definitely helps your growth, I'm not denying that, but, like, you can clearly reach affiliate without even making it up to, what do you call it? With like a PNG, yeah, you can definitely make it to affiliate at least with just being PNG.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like, It's like the same as I think I talked about when I was doing this with Rank. It's the same as those people that like tweet out that they want more friends, but it's then
They don't actually
they
do anything after they
only
post it.
follow the people. They like, oh yeah, I'm so lonely. I don't have VTuber friends. This and that, and then like they get like 20, 30 replies. It's like, okay, you're at 1K as well, just like me. Follow. You're at 1K. You're actually at 2K, and everybody else get pissed off. Like it's like.
Yeah.
I've always been of like the opinion that, in my opinion, if you don't even want to collab with someone that's on or even below your size, I don't think you deserve to collab with people that are bigger than your size. Because like if you're literally only like looking up, like I only want to collab with people that are at least bigger than my. It's like I get that those are the best for your growth, but it's not that good for your reputation. It shouldn't be a reputation thing either, but there's nothing wrong with people that are like starting out. You yourself started out with like smaller things. But like even some of the smaller ones, because sometimes I'm like, hey, like Nariko joined us for the Goose Goose Duck thing, which she hadn't, no, I think she only just had a debut before that. I was like, hey, you know,
I think so.
I saw your stuff. I had been following her on Twitter for like a while. I was like, if you want to have your first collab, like, that's why she was like so nervous because it was her first collab. I was like, you know, I'm open to it. And like, it's kind of, not that I toot my own horn, it's kind of a risk for me, you know, because like I'm already, she can see my content, she knows what I'm like, but I have to like jump into the deep with her and be like, sure, you can come on my stream. If I all know on the first time they're gonna stream, they like slip an N-word or whatever. I know. I don't know what type of person they are because there's like no content.
Can see what you mean.
It's like
it's always worrying if you don't know the person at all because you don't know.
I'm definitely taking a little bit more of a risk than they are, but I'm like, you know, if back in the day when I debuted, if someone like reached out to me and was like, hey, you wanna do a collab? Like I wouldn't even care if they have 10 followers or they have 20 or whatever much. I would have lost my... Wait.
Yeah, you had just debuted, I think, or... No, I met you before you debuted. I was at your debut.
You met me, yeah. You raided me. You were my very first raid on my very first... Yes. That was you. I was doing collab with Spuff because I was too shy to do it alone. I had planned to do it alone, and then right when I was about to start, I was like, I can't fucking do this. Please collab something with me. And you raided me on my very first stream. I was like, what do you do when you get a raid? But,
my first stream, I didn't even have my PNG yet. I don't know if you knew that, but, I just kind of, when I was still not sure what I was doing with, whether I was really doing it, for like going headfirst into the VTubing, but the other Ember that I mentioned, it was one of his streams, and somebody that was supposed to be in his collab dropped out, and he and Sayo and Nightmare were friends, and they asked if I was interested in subbing in for the person who dropped out, and Sayo actually made me like a little tiny little, not a reactive, but a little PNG thing. And yeah, that was how I ended up in my first stream.
Right. Dude, my entire series out is fucked. Fuck y'all in your hype train, dude. This is awful. I hate every bit of this. Like,
I've never had a hype train, so there you go, and I've been streaming longer than you, so
every time, no, it's just kind of bullying me over and over. It's like, what, dude, I swear, I just, no. I hate this.
I agree with you, Sweet. Generally, yeah, when I get raided, I panic for a quick second, especially if it's like more than like 5 people. Oh,
the rating is fun. At first I had that where like raids made me a bit nervous, or like getting anywhere over like 3. But like, it's like, it's getting money. Like, not if someone is like, hey, I resubbed, but it's like, definitely hype trains are like a crazy amounts that I'm like, it doesn't feel right, because I'm like, why? Because it still feels like I haven't done anything to like, have a good reason to like, I can't justify myself like, having a good reason to get that. So I'm like, why is this happening? I don't get it. I don't think that Cause like I look around and like it makes sense. It's like I can't like very comfortable say, yeah, no, that should happen, and then I don't know, when certain people show up, I struggle.
See, I still definitely have issues with imposter syndrome, so I definitely get you there. A lot of times it still weirds me out that people are actually interested in watching me, or that people are interested and want to pay me to draw for them. Because it's just something that I've done for most of my life, and nobody really has taken that much of an interest until I started VTubing. So it's been kind of weird for me to get used to. I'm happy as heck about it, but still, it's still kind of weird to me.
Hey, what's an annoying habit that you have? So not something that others do that annoy you, but like, what is an annoying habit you have?
Oh God.
Can be a small
I'm sure.
one.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that would be a better question for like you to ask, since you have to put up with me all the time.
I don't know. Do you do anything that I find annoying?
Yeah, I'm self-deprecating. I think that's probably that's something that annoys you. You've given me a heck for it a few times. That's something that I'm working on.
Yeah, well, it's not like annoy. It's like a small thing. Like, I don't. I mean, I get that because I myself do it as well. But like sometimes it's like a little annoying when people don't see themselves the way you see them.
Yeah,
that's definitely that's definitely like a big thing that I mean you have. I think Sweet definitely has that too. Kenna has that, where like they're not confident enough in themselves, or like they don't see themselves like others see them. And it's like, dude, I just wish I could. Cause I'm always that's frustrating me as well. Cause I'm not good at like explaining that and putting that into words, like how I view you guys. So it's like I wish I could convey it better.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And I think it's easier for us to see like the worth in other people than it is for us to see worth in ourselves. Because obviously we know all of our like bad things about ourselves.
Well, people are supposed to have bad things about themselves.
I know, who would have thought, eh?
Eh? It's very good, eh?
Yeah, no, I mean...
As well, if you want...
I mean, totally got no flaws.
Wait, what do you mean exercise? I hate exercise. Do I look like someone that likes to exercise and be fit? Fuck that. What is one falsehood you've said in one of your videos, like a lie? What is like a small... It doesn't have to be a biggest lie ever. What is something that you have, like, not been truthful about on the stream?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess since, you know, it got dug up the other day, any of this stuff from, like, when I was first starting, I guess, when I was doing any of the, like, couple-y things with Pokken, it was all fake, because it was all roleplay. It was just something that we were trying out, because we thought it would be kind of fun to roleplay, or to have, like, a VTuber roleplay couple.
Right.
And I mean, we did play around with that quite a bit. It was a little weird the first time, I'm not gonna lie, hearing I love you from somebody that wasn't actually dating me. It was a little weird, but we did have fun with that.
What is this guy saying I love you? What the fuck?
But I mean, obviously it wasn't. I don't know if you want to call it lying. It was all because it was an act. It was just part of our thing that we were doing. But obviously,
did people know? Like, wasn't it in the title? Or?
We actually did. We were doing a thing for Thyme getting pregnant, and I actually had people sending me messages thinking that I was pregnant. Which was pretty funny.
Man, I didn't know you had a child.
Especially because obviously, yeah, Pokken and I we're really good friends, and we've obviously never met each other in person. We're pretty damn far away and have a really huge age gap. So
two plants, one pot.
It was just us playing around, but I did have to explain that to quite a few people. Just like, I've had so many people ask for my advice about tattoo-related things, and obviously, I love tattoos, but I can't actually tattoo people. I wish that I could, but...
Do you have any?
Yes, I do. I have a couple, so...
Wait, no, did you show me those? I don't
I'm not
remember.
sure. I'll have to dig up
Because I
pictures for
remember
you.
we did have that video call, but I don't remember. Well, I say one-sided video call. I remain unseen.
Well, one of them is on my like my shoulder blade, so you wouldn't have been able to see that for sure.
Me and my walnut ass.
But no, I would have, if I wasn't squeamish, I honestly probably would have looked into becoming a tattoo artist, but because of all the like the blood and stuff involved, I would probably not be able to do it. I'd probably pass out.
Dude, I don't know how big of balls some people need to have. When you like see someone walking around with Tourette's and then they have a tattoo, I'm like, who the hell decided to have the balls to do that and be like, yes, I'll tattoo you? Like, dude, I would be like, dude, one spastic movement and like, there goes your tattoo. I wouldn't be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, no, I don't know how people do that either.
If it could be someone else for one day, who would it be and why?
That is a tricky question. It definitely would be somebody who doesn't have all the like the health issues that I have. It would be really cool to get to be in somebody else's body. Yeah, exactly. It would be really cool to have a normal body so I could actually do whatever, or eat and do whatever I want. But a specific person, I'm not really sure. That's a really good question.
Thank you. That's why it's on the list.
Can I pick somebody that's like super rich just so that I can like
transfer all the money to yourself? Hell yeah, dude.
That's what I would do.
You and I are like working on the same brain cell. That's what I would say as well. Just transfer all the money to your own account and then you switch back the day after and then you're rich.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Then I have the money and I can like donate it and gift it to all my friends and stuff. And...
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're not that alike anymore. Never mind.
I honestly though, if I like did come into money and I like won the lottery or whatever, I definitely would want to be like trying to go out and meet all my friends, whether it was like fly them out to visit me or fly out to see them. That would honestly probably be like the first thing I did if I had money.
Okay.
I mean, buy a house or something.
Yeah,
that would be really nice.
Yeah, let's get like a mansion for you in Aurora. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Get a pool. Get like all the toys for your cats. Let's go.
We're gonna do the VTuber house like we've been talking about. I think that would be really fun.
Like a big house and all that. I don't know, man. I've always like. I think that idea-wise, like living in like a house with like a bunch of VTubers could be fun. But it's like 9 out of 10 times we see like a bunch of YouTubers or whatever content creators end up in a house together. It eventually doesn't work out because people realize, oh right, the idea is really fun, but after you have to live with each other every day, you start to like get annoyed by people. You're like, this is not that great after all.
Yeah, it would be nice though to be able to actually go out and like travel to visit everybody, so I could actually hang out or, you know, again, fly people out to go and meet up with me places. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely getting to meet everybody would be like a great thing when you like don't have to be concerned about like money or things like that.
Exactly.
I would commission all my model ideas. So it's like, hi, I'm the building. Here are my 8 models. There we go. Let's go.
I definitely would spend a lot of money getting art and stuff because I've never really been able to do that. Like I've commissioned people a couple of times, but like spread out over like the last probably 15 years. It hasn't been that much because I haven't really had a lot of an income even when I was working, so it would be really nice to be able to do that. I'd love to be able to commission more people.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking about VTubers, since you brought it up anyway, what would you say? Do you watch like many corporate VTubers or not that much?
Not really. Like I watch a lot of their like clip compilations and stuff on YouTube, but I don't think I've ever actually been into like a corporate VTuber's actual stream before.
Right, okay.
I like watching the clips, but...
The question would normally be like, what are your favorite VTubers? And then you can name 5 corporate ones and 5 self-made ones, but if you don't really watch corporate ones, you can just list
In
more
terms-
self-made ones.
Like, in terms of, like, bigger VTubers, like, I said, like, I really admire Lumi. I think Lumi is adorable. I've never watched any of her streams, but I've watched a lot of her clips, and I really like her. And Iron Mouse I really like, because she's funny, and, I mean, she's also another person that's got, like, a chronic illness, so I think her story is pretty incredible and amazing, and I definitely can say that I admire what she's done.
Right.
She's done a lot for bringing VTubing out into like the mainstream, if you will.
Yeah, like kinda, you know, set out a path for like the people that followed after her.
So I'd say like them and like I don't think she's not corporate, but like Tricky is another one that I like, another big VTuber that I really like. Like I watch a lot of her clip videos. I think she's really funny.
Yeah.
But. And I mean, Mary Dog, I was one of the ones that I originally was interested in because I thought he was I think the first male VTuber that I ever saw, and I thought his model was super cute. But again, I've seen lots of clips, but I've never actually like tuned into a stream. But, I mean, obviously my friends are the ones that I like to watch the most. I try to...
Yeah, obviously.
I have so many VTuber friends that I have a hard time making time to even just watch theirs, which is why I don't watch corporate ones. I just don't have time.
It's...
But I think I've said before, but Nightmare honestly was my favorite streamer before he stopped streaming. I really enjoyed his content a lot. I know he probably won't hear this, which is too bad, but
someone just clip it and send it to him.
Somebody should clip this and send it to Nightmare. But I really enjoyed his streams. They were always really, really chill, really fun. Like, he has a great sense of humor, and he always was able to make me laugh. And even on days when I was feeling really sick and stuff, I used to lay down on the couch and watch his stream, and he was always really good at like helping entertain me and cheer me up when I was feeling sick. So
yeah,
it made it kind of special, I guess.
I mean, it's always like nice to have like that one person that can literally brighten your day.
Yeah, like I'd say for me he was like a comfort streamer. So I haven't entirely found another person to take his place as that since he stopped streaming. I also like I can say that back when I was starting, I spent a lot of time with my friend Mayim. Like Mai is another one that I always enjoy his streams because he's really funny and he makes me laugh. So that's like a big thing for me, I guess, when for favorite VTubers is I like anybody who will make me like crack up because of what they're saying more than the game itself usually.
Yeah, like I definitely have like a few where I'm like I can watch those and they'll like instantly cheer me up.
I think Rang's meme streams are kind of becoming that for me, obviously. Anytime like I'm having a bad day, I like to just chill and hang out and watch him do memes. Because it always makes me laugh, it cheers me up, so... Which I think a lot of people can relate to, because I think most of our like friend group seems to do that now. We all kind of just go and
hanging each other. Yeah, well, yeah, that's why like I like usually ask like 5 because like it's definitely like yeah I understand that I'm one of the ones you watch. Rang is one of the ones we all watch. Cause like it's sweet and like we just watch each other back and forth. It's definitely like hard, especially if like you stream at the same time as like Rang. It's like
that's
well,
usually the problem.
who do you watch? And like lurking in like one chat and watching another, that's something I'm like usually okay with. But like I don't know, it's a hard line to like figure out. But I have mixed feelings where like someone is like, oh, I'm watching this person and I'm like lurking in 8 other chats. It's like, well, I don't want to complain because my number are going up. It's like, on the other hand, like numbers aren't everything, you know? And it's like, if my number reaches 20, but I only have like 2 people like active in my chat, or like 2 people around.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, and I actually, I mean, you know, when you guys, the other day when you guys were all streaming, I was just making rounds and jumping back and forth between everybody's streams. Because I didn't know, I wanted to be in all of them, but my internet is not quite good enough for me to do that, so...
Yeah.
Hannah wants to know who your favorite streamer is. That's a hard question.
Yeah, it is. Don't know.
Just a lot of corporate VTubers, so I'm sure that's probably a pretty hard one.
Uh-huh.
I think you broke her.
Then what do you know? I'm just thinking, you know, right. Let me, right. I have to think on this. Okay, I'll get back
Right, because he's the only one confident enough to sleep midstream. Hell yeah.
I'll get back to you about that. Next question.
Hey, guys. Hey. How are you feeling? I hope you're better, because being sick and hospital visits are not fun.
Hospital visits are never fun, right?
No, they're horrible. He's right. Ember, you are super cute.
I'm dying over here. I'll be back later. Okay.
Thanks for hanging out, Kenna! And I'm glad to hear that you're still alive, Galaxy. I really am. That being in the hospital for anything is just, it's miserable and it sucks. So.
It sucks. It really does. Dude, oh my, this stream, dude, no. Is it hot in here? Yeah, it is. Dude, I'm dying, dude. Yeah, I wonder who it is, Mango. I wonder who it is. You bitch. Oh, dude, I want to die.
Obviously, her favorite streamer is me. Come on.
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
this.
clearly. It's not
so
like
11 hours. I'm sorry, that sucks so much. Ugh.
it's not like it's the person who literally, of course, had to ask the damn question.
I thought so.
Oh no, did also no. Oh no. I mean, it's Spuff. Nah, Spuff fell off. Oh, Spuff is definitely up there. I mean, if I had to make a list, I don't know, like... If I don't count my friends, right? Because I obviously watch you and Sweet and everybody a lot. I hate you! No, you said you know! No! Okay. Goodbye. We're ending now. This is it. Good end of the stream. Okay, I'll just go to bed and die now. I hate this. No, I don't wait. I need a minute. I'm gonna get a drink. 1 second. I actually need a minute. No. Oh no, I'm getting a drink. Hold up, I'll be right back, Thyme. I'm sorry, entertain my chat.
I'm supposed to entertain the chat? Okay. Hi, chat! I hope you're all having a better week than pretty much everybody else that I know, because everybody seems like they're having a shit week, so... I appreciate y'all for coming out and showing support, because it's definitely been a rough week, but it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm happy that I decided to come and hang out on here. Oh god, yeah, the next week hasn't... Hey, I'm hoping that this coming week ends up being a better one for everybody, because basically everyone I know had a rough week, so fingers crossed. By the way, Zin, how was your collab stream today? Did you have fun? gotta play more Goose Goose Duck still. I haven't played it in a while again. Glad to hear it. We definitely will have to do a collab again, Arsano. I haven't collabed with you very much yet.
Right, moving on. Yeah, now I don't trust her. Now I don't know if she's lurking or not. I don't trust it now. Wait. Alright, so we'll just conveniently skip over my favorite one. Second favorite one, right. Let me actually pull up my Twitch and then look. Because I always forget someone and I'm like, okay, so this is excluding all of you guys, obviously, like Sin and you and Sweet. Well, obviously, well, you know who, my favorite, and then, I'd say Tara rates pretty okay-ish. I enjoy, like, watching her stuff. It's not so much...
She's amazing.
I don't know, I don't watch her games too much, to be honest, but I just like watching a rig. Even though I don't understand any of it, I just like watching the process, even if it's not, like, my model. Because it's not like I just feel obligated to just watch mine. I just like watching her work on any.
Yeah.
Spuff counts as a friend, so I won't give them a slot. Because obviously, and I'm a mod in Spuff's channel, so... Yeah, Rico, I watch... Because like, we've only interacted a bit, so I would definitely not consider as like closest. Bubbly Riley is another one that I watch.
Oh, I know her. Okay, I haven't watched her stream, but I do know who she is.
A Ball of Chaos. And then... This is getting hard. I mean, I was watching... okay, that doesn't really count. Right, this is so hard, right? Because I'm like, through the list, I'm like, okay... like 2 spots left, so what am I gonna... Who am I gonna... give a free of charge shout out? Oh, who was the one that I was watching? Why can I not think of her name right now? Because I know exactly what I'm thinking of, I just can't think of her name. Shit, Rang, what was the VTuber that you and I talked about? The one that you knew? Like the goblin?
Oh, there's a couple really good goblin VTubers. Shouldn't say, there's probably a lot, but
Honey Goblin, that was it. I really like watching her, because her model is like so good. Rang, shut the fuck up. Get timed out, nerd.
Why'd you time out Galaxy?
Oh shit, I hit the wrong person! No! Did I?
And actually, Galaxy, I didn't see what Sweet was planning for D&D yet, but...
I'm sorry, Galaxy, no! No! Wait, hold up. No.
I'm so excited for more D&D, I'm not gonna lie.
How do you... Wait, oh shit, oh dude. How do I undo this? I always forget.
I actually don't know.
Oh no, Galaxy, I'm so sorry.
I don't even know if I'm a moderator in yours, so...
I think you are, but I don't... Oh no! Oh shit, dude, why is it so hard? I knew how to do it. Wait, okay, I know how to do this. Hold up. It is in here, and then I go to... Oh, wait, yes, I remember. I have to go... Okay, yes, actually, I do remember. Okay, good. I click here, I do this, and then I go here. And then that's not the one. Yes, then I do this. And then I do this. Right. Scroll here. No, that's not it. Right, okay, I figured out where to do it. Got it. I mean, I thought Finn already did it, but at least I now figured out where to do it. Yeah, I forgot. You have to go to the. You have to go. It's so dumb. Because, like, when I stream, I have Streamlabs, and in Streamlabs, I just have delete message, timeout, or ban, right? But, like, you have to go into the fucking mod view, and then look at the mod action menu, and then that's where I can undo it. There's probably an easier way to just do it with, like, a chat command, but I don't know that. Aha, right, so we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. And, we're gonna
also, you haven't modded me yet.
Well, you know, oh, right, well, sucks to be you, I guess.
I think I made you a mod in mine, but I can't remember now that I think about it. I'll have to actually look.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure that I made you a mod.
I think I'm.
Oh yeah, because you said you were gonna try to time out or ban that one person that was being an idiot the last time I was streaming.
Oh yeah, I did. That person is gone.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you definitely are a mod then.
Right. Yes.
Hey,
okay.
That I think is the first time I've had like an actual like bad person in my streams,
yeah,
and I've been going for like a year now.
I've like one and Sweet like instantly banned that person, so we are okay. And then, and then corporate ones, I don't know. Tiara definitely, Ina. Iris probably. Then Sheep counts as corporate, I guess. I think she's with a company, isn't she? I really like Sheep because I like
I don't know.
sheep
I don't know
chips.
her.
She had a debut like very recently, I guess in a week. But she's a I'll link it to you later if you remind me.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'd be curious to check her out.
She should be somewhere on top. How can I not find her? Wait, why are they not alphabetical? That is so dumb. Well, fuck you too, Twitch. Pikami is another one that I really enjoy. I like watching Watame because she's another sheep.
Sheepies.
I'm just doing this now anyway, so might as well give it to. I'll just give a shout out in my own channel. Why not? It should be. Is it just both sheep attached to each other? I think it is. Yes, it is. That should be it. That is it. Perfect. Man, I'm sure she's gonna get so many followers from the little shout out that I do. Wow.
I forgot to mention that I even though it's not technically a compliment, but when you were saying like compliments that I got, a couple people know this, but I don't think anybody that's in the current chat or you know about this. But a couple of my original VTuber friends will know this story. But there is a bigger female VTuber that slid into my DMs and was flirting with me, and I will take that as a huge compliment because she is absolutely gorgeous. She actually came into one of my streams at one point too, and I'd say that was probably one of the biggest compliments for me, even though I wasn't interested, but at the same time it was really surprising.
Yeah, I can't deal with like bigger people being in my chats. Like I get used to it with like you, cause you have pretty decent numbers. But like there's definitely a few, like Tara is one of the ones where I'm still like, okay, why are you here? And like Tara then again got raided by Tara actually got raided by Sheep. It was like a raid of like what was 300 people or something. I was like, oh no. I would die if that happens, dude. I think getting raided by 300 people and then like, man, this person is so fucking annoying. It's like, okay. Good
yeah,
to
I've
know.
never had a really big raid. I've seen a few of my friends get really big raids, but I think the biggest raid I got was the recent one from Walker, which is too bad because he raided just when I was like I was just sending my people over to raid somebody else. I was like right at the end of my stream.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, if I just say, like, the people that show up now and then, like, the people that actually show up frequently, definitely, like, Tara that I struggle with the most, and Kenna as well, if she shows up, I just die. And of course, she happens to ask a question without knowing what she's asking. It's like, I have to remind you.
I can be your dummy mommy.
I'll tweet it now. Yeah, I need to get used to like just tweeting it as soon as someone redeems it, because I swear to God, I forget otherwise, and I feel so bad.
I love that reward. I've added that, but nobody, I think, has noticed, because nobody's actually done that.
I didn't even realize. I would definitely use that.
Your genius is astounding. Yeah, I think the raid from Walker was about 25 people, and that was the biggest raid that I can think of getting.
What's a good emote to add to that tweet?
Is the male equivalent to Subby Hubby. I like that. That's funny. That's right, Galaxy. I was wondering. I thought that I hadn't seen you stream at all in a while. Guess it's not. I mean, I've been kind of, all over the place since January.
I'll just add the squiggly line at the end. There you go. Just a tweet. Okay. Well, I mean, I think I'll know the answer, but still, do you consider yourself famous, or else, what do you think it would be like to be famous?
I know I'm definitely not famous, not even close.
I mean, depends on what you consider famous, because you have some decent numbers.
Yeah, I think what am I at now on Twitch? I think like 400, but
yeah, I mean, for me, it's like 1K. It's like, for me, always like very like, okay, that's like kind of famous. For those people, it's like even higher, obviously. But still, like, I'd say 400 is already like a amount where I'm like, damn.
Yeah, like, I have a lot of numbers on Twitter, but since it doesn't really, like, correspond to my numbers on Twitch, I don't really consider myself famous yet.
Yeah, I don't get my Twitter is fucked. I don't know what's going on with my... Like, I remember Spuff was like, don't look at your Twitter followers, because it's so far away from what you actually get on Twitch. And ever since I started, the difference between my Twitter followers and my Twitch followers is about 30. Like, I have barely any difference between the two numbers. And everybody's like, dude, Twitter has so much more than my Twitch. I'm like, not for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or right, but for whatever weird reason.
It's because I don't have a lot of a life, so I spend a lot of time on... I spend too much time goofing around on Twitter. That's the reason I have so many Twitter followers.
Yeah. It's kinda, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually true. It's just because I spend a lot of time on Twitter, and because of that, yeah. I interact with people a lot, so that's usually how...
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, and because I'm an artist, so people a lot of times, if they see an artist, I think they're more likely, as a VTuber, I think they're more likely to follow. Partly in some cases because they're hoping to get free art from you, but thankfully that's not something that
seems
I come
really
across very
annoying.
often.
What do you...
I'm not that good at it yet, so...
If you were famous, what do you think it would be like?
I don't... See, I think being famous as a VTuber wouldn't be too terrible, as opposed to, like, in real life. I would hate to be famous in real life. I would really hate...
Because you can't go anywhere.
I would hate to have people know who I am. Yeah, I don't like to talk to strangers when I'm outside my house, so I would hate that, but, as a VTuber, I think it wouldn't be too bad, except I think it would be a little bit... I'd be a little bit nervous, because I'd always be worried that, you know, I'd say something that would get taken out of context or something, and...
Like Daddy Pokin'?
Exactly, right? Like, I'd be afraid of saying something and people getting pissed off at me, because Twitter mobs are scary. Even just that little one that I dealt with this week was scary enough. I can't imagine... Yeah,
if you get, like, someone that actually has people on his side, or their side, then it's like, yeah.
Exactly. I'd hate to have to always be worried about saying the wrong thing.
I'm always kind of like in the middle of it, because like, I would like to be able to get to a point where I can do it full time, so I don't have to like bother with like my other work anymore. But like reaching sizes like that, for me, it's also like you lose like a level of like interaction, which I would kind of hate that
True.
idea. Because it's like, I can usually, like when I have an average of like, what, 2 or 3 viewers, I can keep up with chat pretty well. And I'm already kind of struggling today. Well, I mean, I'm also just more so chatting with you, but like, I could kind of keep up with the 13 people now, and I could actually read and reply to most of them. But it's like, if I like reach actual famous number, and you have like 100 or more people in your chat, well, obviously you'd have more than 100. It's like, I can't react to every message, and that's like, I would hate that idea of like not being able to reply to people that take the time to be in your stream. And I especially never want to get to like a Hololive level where only the paid messages get read, because I hate that system.
Yeah, I hate that too.
But I get it, because they have so many people that it's like, well, you know, it's a corporate
keeping up with it.
It's a corporate decision, right? And like, it helps them make money. It's just like, I don't ever want to do that. And you can't do it on Twitch, luckily. But it's still like, where I'm like, I would just hate knowing that there's people that are coming over to watch your shit, and then you don't read their stuff because there's like 200 people like actively chatting. It's like, I hate that idea. I would be very grateful if I ever like reach a size where I can do this full time, but that would definitely be something that I would still struggle with and like have to adjust to.
Because, I mean, I've said it before, but I mean, I would like to get to partner. It's something that I don't know if I can do, but it's something that I do think would be a really cool thing. It'd be really nice to be able to do that, but at the same time, I think I would have a really hard time with that too, losing the personal touch, like the personal relationship with the people that view my content.
I mean, not only like the corporate side of it, that's not even getting big, but like the thing that I don't really like is like that shit gets locked behind a paywall, and I don't like that system. I don't like how you sub to them on YouTube with a membership, but then not all of them, but some, like it's like, okay, cool, now you get like behind the scenes messages or like some limited streams. But if you want the ASMR streams, you need to go to tier 2. So it's like, okay, whatever. And then there's some karaoke streams that are tier 3. So then you have to like, that's already like $20 per month. And for the $20, you could also have a tier 1 sub on them. And then you could sub tier 1 to 3 other people instead of doing a tier 3 sub on that one person. Especially when subs are already so stupidly expensive that it's like $5 per person. So like if you sub to like 10 of your friends, which is not even that big of a number, that's already $50 per month.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's just such a fucking struggle. And especially then when people like lock shit behind it, you can't really do that on Twitch. But like I just don't like that system. I really hate. I would go as far as to say that I hate that thing. Because like you definitely still get the content from that VTuber. And I can give there's obviously an extreme example, but like let's say like you have like one person that you really like watching, and like they're like what you said, the example that you gave a bit earlier, like there's your person that like cheers you up, is always able to like make your day when you're feeling down. Or you're just like going through like a depressive day, or you're just having a like lesser day, and then like on one of those days, it's like, well, I really need that cheer up right now. You open up the stream, and it's some garbage that's locked behind like a tier 2 or tier 3 there. So you can't watch them today. And obviously, like, what are the chances? That's a bit of an extreme example, but it's like, why bother locking shit behind it? And it's like the same with like Twitch, like, even if they gave me the option, I wouldn't lock shit behind it. But on the other hand, Twitch system is so garbage. Who the fuck is gonna pay double or even like quadruple because you have to pay 20 for a tier 3 one to get 2 extra emotes. You get nothing but 2 extra fucking emotes. It's not even rewarding. Like, okay, I get it. The system is literally like, hey, I want to financially support this person, so I'm gonna go to a higher tier. But it's like, we as content creators can't do anything extra back for people that do that. Because all I can give you, which you will get for my channel, it's like if you go to tier 3, you get 2 extra emotes. I can't add more. I can't say like, oh, my channel, you get like 5 extra ones. And the most I can do is like, special role in Discord. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like people sometimes do like a sub-only like game night. But I don't want to leave people out like that don't have too much money or don't have the money to sub. I want to like have those people be able to join too. And then like, okay, are you gonna do like a tier 3 sub only night and reward the tier 3 subs? It's like 2 people at most. It's like, okay, and then the rest of your community is all left out. It's like,
yeah, I don't like that.
You as a content creator can't really reward those people more, and Twitch hasn't like given you the option as well. And definitely like on YouTube, I don't like YouTube too much, but like they have like the system where you can like upload things just for those tiers, or like upload messages just for those tiers.
Yeah,
but then I
do like that.
I still don't like the system. I just don't like the idea. It's like the same on Twitch. When you go to someone's,
kind of sucks.
If you go to someone's Twitch channel and it's like you can't watch VODs unless you sub to this channel. It's like, imagine you find someone that you don't know about. You're like, oh, what do they like? And then their VODs are locked behind a payment. Okay, guess I just won't follow you. Let me look at one of the other billions of VTubers out there. Like, why would you ever lock your VODs? So either you need to catch that person when they're live, or you catch them, you can't check their content out, so you don't know if you like them or not, so you're just gonna move on to one of the other millions. Like, I don't get why people lock their VODs behind, like, a paywall. I would never do that. I think it's a very dumb thing that, like, handicaps your growth. But it's like, even like that choice, like, why is that even an option?
Yeah,
anyway,
I think that's a bad idea, too.
Looking back at your VTuber career, what is something you would have done differently, if anything?
I don't know if that is much that I would have done different. I'm pretty happy about the way everything's been so far. I mean, yeah, no, I'm actually pretty happy about it, except for the fact that I definitely feel better now that I'm not attempting to pretend to be like my original like lore version of Thyme when I'm on stream, because I'd rather be able to just be myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Rang, I don't like the fact that you can't chat until you follow isn't that bad. It's the thing that you named actually, Rang, when you and I did this. The people that you follow, and then you still have to be there for 10 minutes before you can send a fucking chat message. Those are the people that suck.
So annoying.
Just having to follow is whatever. And like, you know, that at least if you get like a hate raid or something, they're not gonna like spam your chat, or like the big follow people that like spam like the hey, buy viewers here, because those people don't follow. So it's a good protection against that. But like the people that have like a timer, I don't get those. It's like the same as like, I don't hate people that start out with a starting soon screen. I do that too. But then you have people that are like starting soon, and then they have like a 10-minute counter that is like counting down. I'm like, if you know that you're not ready to start for another 10 minutes, why don't you just go live in another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I go on starting soon when the person I'm collabing with has to quickly, like, Spuff had that when we played League. He had to, some stuff wasn't working, they quickly had to adjust that. I could have done it a little bit today since you were still checking your mic. I tried to be on, like, starting soon for, like, less than 5 minutes. So it's like, okay, we said we would start at hour, let's start at hour. Oh, you're not done setting up, I'll be on starting soon for 5 minutes. And then we go, right? Like, that's how I use it. But the people that set a timer, it's like, you're literally just doing 10 minutes so you can start setting up in those 10 minutes. Or because you want to, like, do a little bit more stuff for yourself. I'm like, then just don't start for another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
such a
for
dumb,
sure.
in my opinion, that is such a dumb use of the starting soon screen.
Yeah, I admittedly I try to avoid using mine too much as well.
But oh yeah, like you said, like where you just try to stream as yourself. I definitely like that too. I definitely obviously play a little bit of a character, like not too much, but I don't go around like. On one hand, we're not like, hey, I'm this person and I use a model of this character that I named Ember, Fire Spirit VTuber. Like you do act like the person on the screen is you. So like
Yeah.
you do take that name and make it your own. So like we go that far, and
Yeah.
like you act like a cow VTuber. I do act a bit more bold, a bit more brash, a bit more cocky sometimes than I definitely are in real life. But like that is the extent, you know. I would never be able to like play one of those cat girl VTuber characters, to give an example. Because it's like, what if you have a day on which you feel like hot garbage? And you have to go, hello everyone, like have to go off and be all peppy and shit. It's like, but you feel shit on the inside, and I like that I can just go live, be like, this stream is not gonna be too exciting. I'm sorry, I'm in a bad mood. I hope the stream will cheer me up. And then people just know if you're not too energetic. People understand when you're not too quiet, or you can talk about it with people instead of having to play this happy peppy character that has nothing wrong in their life ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier to just be yourself.
And it's less. I feel like it's less of a drag when you can just be like. I feel like getting a character that's also the people that then like behind the scenes have like some really like shit life, or like get really burned out, because that is just emotionally taxing, and just being able to be yourself.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Like obviously, like we're also not just gonna fourth wall break and be like, hey, we're like we're playing out this character. I'm just me, a normal human using this model. But I don't like fully roleplay as a character, because that would get like more exhausting for me, and I could definitely not do this as frequently as I do this.
It's one thing to do it for a D&D session, but it's another thing to do it all the time.
Get the name right. Ember.
Ember.
It's Duple Snoot, not Boople. It's Duple Snoot. That was Eggnog.
Your eggnog?
Yeah, it was Eggnog. And that's how you write Eggnog. Eggnog is... No, wait, is it?
Yeah, no, that's right.
I did do it right. Ember, Duple Snoot, Ember-Ignis. That's, I think, where I ended up with.
I'm sorry to say that I don't like drinking eggnog. I'm sorry.
I don't either. It just sounds great. Ember-Ignis. It kind of works. I don't like it. I don't remember where most of these nicknames came. Duple Snoot was from a game, like the See You Later Alligator game. Eggnog, just because it sounds kind of like Ignis, Ember-Ignis. And Ember was like, because I was doing Tiny Tina, and I needed like, it's in a D&D kind of style-ish. So like, what would be like a medieval type of character name? I was like, yes, instead of Ember, I'll go Ember.
I like that. That's awesome.
That's where it came from. And I've just been adding in. Oh yeah, and then can I set Good Egg? So on her server, I'm like Ember Good Egg Ignis or something.
Aw, that's cute. I like that.
So yeah, I've been just collecting middle names.
I was gonna say, I thought it might have been because of Pokemon, just like Rang. So
I don't know. Fuck Ember, dude. That's such an ugly ass Pokemon. One of the few gens where I didn't go for a fire type. What's the best piece of advice you could give to a newbie? Someone that's just starting out VTubing.
Well, like we were just saying, I think probably one of the best things is to be yourself, because unless you really, really want to play a character the whole time, like it's just easier to be yourself. And I think if you're being authentic and genuinely enjoying what you're doing, I think that comes across as more like genuine to an audience, and I think that most people are going to connect with that more. At least that's my opinion. Maybe some people don't think so, but personally that's the way that it's ended up working out for me.
Yeah, I definitely, sorry.
Focus more on having fun with your friends than worrying about numbers, because in the end, people will be more interested in watching if you're having a good time.
True. I mean, I have always been having a good time, but... And Spuff gave me the same advice, and I honestly, I did struggle with it for a bit. I will say, no matter how much you tell someone to not pay attention to numbers, it happens automatically.
Oh, yeah.
But once you hit affiliates, so much pressure falls off of you that you're like, because like I felt really bad as soon as I didn't have free. I was like, fuck, this stream is not going good enough. Maybe I should just keep it short, because so it doesn't affect the average that much. And then if I had a good stream, but I was like kind of done streaming, I was like, I have to keep going because I have more than free right now. So the longer this stream goes, the more I'll bump up the numbers.
Yeah.
But like once you reach it, it like definitely, like you said, partner is definitely something you could strive for. But once you reach affiliate, it's like, okay, you know, I have kind of made it. The pressure is now gone, and I'll hit partner whenever. Whereas you feel like you're still starting up until you reach affiliate. And not everybody cheats like Zin and just pays people to show up.
We can't all be as famous as Zin.
True. It's not true, by the way, before he actually gets shit for that. No, the amount of viewers I have now, 13, is definitely not regular for me. That's probably because Thyme is here. And my average is about 3 to 5, I think, 3 to 5 or 6.
I think mine is around the same as that, so...
Well, I mean, everybody is here right now.
Yeah.
Like Tech Bro coming in, because they're all big fans of you. What is your favorite thing about doing this?
Definitely all the people that I've met. I've obviously made a really fucking great group of friends because of VTubing, and that was worth all of the time that it took and all of the fear it took at first, since I was like I was so terrified of streaming at first. But yeah, all of you guys, you make it worth it, so definitely my favorite part.
Are we gonna get paid?
I mean, in subs, probably.
Oh yeah, well I think that's a really good answer. I would definitely think like the people that you meet. You definitely see a lot of posts about like VTuber community crap, but we've been pretty out of that. The corner that we're in is very nice.
We've been lucky. Yeah, there hasn't really been any drama, which is great. Apart from like the shit this week, but I mean.
You mean but he's not really part of like our corner, I would say. It's more than a certain someone got involved, and then you got involved, and then you regretted getting involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, you
That's
live
like
and
the
you learn.
most drama we've had. That's like the most drama that I think we've had, though. And I've been doing this for over a year.
Like I said, I felt bad because like I like to step in for my friends, but also I try to stay as drama-free as I can, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I just don't even. That's why I don't like to tweet about political stuff or like any like stuff like that. Cause like I definitely like
I
even
keep
with
most
like
of that stuff to my personal account.
even with like Pride Month, I have my opinion on Pride Month as someone that's like in that community, but I was like, just, you know, I don't remember where I talked about it. It's just that I don't like it. Personally, I'm not a fan of Pride Month, and that's not because I have anything against LGBTQ, obviously, as someone who's part of that community. But I'm just not a fan of the month. It's kind of like, it's like the same as, who was it?
It does feel like ingenuine in a lot of cases, especially with like corporations.
It's like,
and that's my issue with it too.
It's like, it's the same as like what I think it was Morgan Freeman that once said, like, you know, we black people didn't ask for like a like
Black History Month.
Yeah, we didn't ask, and like it's the same as I'm like, I don't need a month. I really don't give a shit if I get a month, because it's literally just like you said, it's corporations using their shit. Then it's people blaming, then it's everybody tweeting like 3 times a month, like only that for that one single month, about how every corporation is doing that. But the rest of the entire year, You don't hear those people about LGBTQ. It's literally like,
Otherwise, they don't care.
let me send 3 tweets per year in that 1 month to like up my own reputation and seem like a knight defending the honor of LGBTQ. But it's like when we're getting like stared at on the street, like 2 girls or 2 guys walking together or like making out, and when you're like getting stared at or you're getting like cussed at or like getting cursed at. You don't hear those people. Then they're fucking doing nothing.
Then they don't care.
But when it's like free, and I'm not saying like I think I said this a little when me and Rank talked about it on like our thing. I'm not saying that people should like be like tweeting about LGBTQ like 365 days a year, or like spread the message everywhere throughout the entire year. But if you see someone like getting shit for it in real life, you know, actually step up then instead of just being like, you know what, I'll just, you know, tweet about it 3 times, rep my own reputation so I seem good. Because it's so transparent. Like, we can tell. Like, people were getting called out like, hey, look at this tweet that you did last year. It's an exact copy-paste of what you tweeted. I think Dream, that Minecraft YouTuber, like people called him out. It's like this is an exact copy paste of what you posted last year. It's like people like then just don't. Like, you know, it's not rude to stay quiet about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like, don't pretend like you give a shit. It's like, yeah, fuck all these companies. It's like you, by only tweeting that just to rep your own reputation, are just as bad as all those companies.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I don't give a shit. I'm not like, yay, it's my month again, dude. Like, I could do without Pride Month. That's my opinion on it. I'm sure that there's some that are like really glad that we have our own month or feel represented, and that's completely fine. But for me, I'm like, I could go without. I don't feel special in that 1 month. If anything, we get more hate as well in those months, so...
It's true. It's true, yeah. Because it draws more attention, I think.
Yeah, that definitely. Okay, you kind of touched on this already, but to newbies, right? Which I mentioned earlier. Why do you think it's worth it to go into online videos like VTubing when there's already so many people doing it? What would you say to newbies, like, what to still do it?
For me, I would say if it's something that you're really passionate about, then it's a great thing to get into. It's not something I wouldn't recommend just anybody doing that, because it's obviously if you don't have the love behind it, you're not gonna have a good time with it. It's a lot of work at the end of the day if you want to be like big in any way, and it costs money and it's time consuming. But if you genuinely are passionate about it, if you want to make some really great friends, and just if it's something that you think that's something that you think works for you with your lifestyle, then I think absolutely go for it.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's on the other hand, it's not that much work. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's not like you're gonna end up in hospital.
True. Haha. No, I mean, like, if you're just getting into this because you're wanting to make money, then I generally would say don't bother, because it costs money to make money in VTubing. But if you're doing it just because you love gaming or doing art, or if you want to hang out with some really cool people and make some really great friends, then absolutely I recommend everybody go for it, because it's, I mean, hell, why the hell not? And it's just, if you're gonna be gaming anyways, why not game with a bunch of people that are really awesome and that you can make friends with?
Yeah, and just send it out. It's like the same as those people that are like, well, I don't have enough for a model. It's like, well, like I said earlier, I made it to affiliate without having a proper model. I had a PNG. And even something as Pit Crew, you can very easy. It'll look a bit like others. It won't be like fully unique, because Pit Crew obviously only has a few options, and those are limited. But you could definitely make your very first model in Pit Crew and just use that.
The original one that I used, and I still use sometimes, the original design for Thyme was like, it wasn't even made for VTubing. It was something I made for the roleplay when I was doing a character design for her. I grabbed an old piece of art and I made the background transparent, and I started using it as a PNG, because
But
I didn't know what I was doing.
even if you can't make a PNG, you can often get like a PNG done for like less than 100.
Yeah, if you want to like, especially if it's not like a reactive or anything, for a regular PNG, you can do it pretty cheap.
PNG is probably very, very cheap. If you want to have like one that's like mouth open, mouth closed, eyes open, eyes closed, then
I know I've done 2 people's PNGs, and I didn't charge them very much for it because they only wanted like waist up. So
yeah, I'm talking full body. My full body shape one was less than around 100. I'd say. I think it was like a 111 or something.
And honestly, Rang, me too. Like, I have a 3D model, but I've only streamed with it, I think, like, twice. And not because I don't like it, it's just, one, I like my PNG, but 2, just because of how much easier it is on the computer to use a PNG, a lot of the time I just use my PNG.
Right, have you ever had any setbacks, and if so, what were some of them? It can be the small ones if you don't want to talk about bigger ones.
Well, I mean, my move definitely was a pretty big setback since I didn't have a working PC for such a long time.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
And you couldn't really stream at first, right? On the laptop, or like anything besides Stardew, right?
Yeah, like when I first started streaming, I only had the laptop, but I mostly was only playing games like Gartic Phone and Goose Goose Duck, and other than that, I was just doing art. Just because my computer, the laptop really has a hard time with anything. But yeah, when I was back to just having the laptop, I was basically, I could play Stardew and Gartic Phone, and that was about it. So that definitely was a setback. But so thankfully, I've mostly got everything reset up, apart from the things I mentioned earlier. So I'm back now, but that was tough. That was crappy, especially because I had been doing really well, and I actually had like a fairly decent schedule. Like, I was streaming a couple days a week and everything, or before I moved, but that's okay. I said it happens, and I'm slowly managing to bounce back, and that's the important thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just being able to. I mean, moving always sucks, but yeah, you've been getting back to like the normal flow of things. I mean,
the last couple weeks at least, I've been managing to actually like schedule things again, which is really nice.
Yeah. We've already kind of touched on hate, but like, what do you do? Like, what is your advice, or what do you do about like nasty or negative commenters if you see them in your? I mean, you've only had like one, right? That was the one recently.
I had the one in my chat. Yeah, and then I haven't so much had hate on Twitter. It's more been just gross people sending nasty comments.
Dumb things, yeah.
And generally, at first I try to just dissuade the person, but if they're being too bad, then usually I'll well, originally I was getting Pokken to take care of them and scare them off for me, but I am not afraid of using the block button either, and I definitely encourage people to do that. If somebody's harassing you, then honestly, for your own mental health, there's no reason to put up with that shit, so just don't.
Yeah. And I call them out on Twitter.
In my case, I can say too that in my case, one of the guys that when I was first starting that was sending me really gross, like harassing sort of messages, the problem I had with that one is I found out that he was in a couple of my friends' Discord groups. And at first I just stopped talking in those friends' Discord groups, but thankfully I did eventually get the courage up and I talked to one of the, Seppi the Seal, I don't know if you know her, but he was in her Discord group, which is why I had stopped interacting with her in there.
Yeah.
And once I finally had the courage and talked to her and told her what happened, she was incredibly supportive and she did kick him out. So that's one thing too that I want to stress, is that I know that it's hard to speak up about it, especially if you know that that a person is potentially friends with somebody else that you know. It's hard to speak up because you're afraid that you're not going to be believed. But honestly, it's better to just tell the person what's going on, because most people don't want to support somebody that's harassing other people, and most people are understanding, thank God.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah.
I always say don't be afraid to like I don't like doing public call outs. I avoid them, but don't be afraid to talk to your friends if somebody has said or done something wrong. Just if you want to warn them, especially if you see them following that person, I 100% encourage people to just send a DM and let people know, especially if the person might potentially harm somebody else, because that's what I've had to do, and definitely most people will be quite happy about being tipped off before anything bad happens.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever dealt with like performance anxiety, and how did you deal with it? And then more like with streaming when you started out.
Oh yeah, my first couple of streams, I was absolutely petrified. I'm not gonna lie, I had a really hard time with it at first. I still get a little bit nervous if I'm streaming alone, but the first couple streams, like that's actually why I, was just streaming with a laptop and like a crappy computer mic originally, was because I didn't want to put any money into it in case I couldn't do it, because I was really worried my social anxiety was going to be so bad that I wasn't going to actually be able to stream.
Yeah.
But it's something that I feel like the more I do it, the less scary it is. So generally, yeah, that's my advice to people with that one is take lots of deep breaths and just jump in there and give it a try, and it's usually not nearly as scary as you think it's going to be.
It's definitely awkward at the start, definitely. It's like...
Yeah.
Especially
if you have nobody watching you at first.
If you're insecure, it's fully okay to start out with a collab. That's what I did as well.
Me too, yeah.
But don't stick in collabs for too much at the start. It's definitely like just to get like the feeling of, okay, this is what it's like. But eventually you do have to like stream on your own. And
yeah.
I did a solo stream, my second one ever, and the second I clicked live, I was like, my heart kind of sunk into my stomach. I was like, oh fuck, I have to start talking now, because I'm now actually live. And that is something that's difficult at first, and something that you have to get used to, where it's like, if you're not saying anything, and you're not being entertaining, you could have like
no one's gonna stay.
You could have like a mono that's like costs you $3,000 and looks so fucking good, but no one's gonna watch if you're not entertaining. And it doesn't mean like, fuck, I have to be entertaining and like not awkward in my very first few streams, because everybody will understand that.
Yeah.
In your first week of streaming, you're gonna be very awkward. And you're gonna be like very nervous about everything. Like everybody understands that. But it's like, you gotta talk. If you're just sitting there almost completely on mute and not saying anything, then people are not gonna stick around.
I just want to say too that
also, don't be like me and have a whole stream where you left yourself on mute. Yeah, that's good advice, Cindy.
I want to say too, like I know there's probably not any newbies in here, but in case a newbie ever listens to the VOD or whatever, my advice for something like that too is not to be afraid to do what I did, which before my first stream, even though my best friend is not a VTuber, I asked my best friend to be there for that first stream, or my first solo stream, to be talking to me in the chat and everything to help loosen me up and make me less nervous.
Yeah.
And it helps so much.
Having one person in your chat just even talking makes stream like 100 times easier. And try and start with easy games. Usually like some story-driven game or something that gives you content to like react to. Because if you start out with, let's say, because another game that I've been doing, and it's kind of a bit popular right now, it kind of sways up and down, is, for example, Power Wash Simulator. The Power Wash Simulator obviously doesn't give you anything to like commentate on or react to. You're holding a button and you're watching filth off of objects. It is great for collabs when me and Zin, for example, can just chat back and forth. But if you're on your own, you need to have a story to tell about your day, about you. You can't be like, I have this to talk about, I'll blast through it in 20 minutes, and then the entire rest of the 2 hours of the stream are awkward silences where I'm struggling to find stuff to say. Find like For example, I also mentioned God of War earlier. It's a game with a story mode. It gives you content. There's constantly stuff happening. You're moving in like an open world. Like there's stuff to react to, and there's stuff, or even visual novel games. Maybe games that like read all the dialogue out to you. Don't think that is a replacement of you just sitting there in silence. You also still have to like give commentary on top of that. Because you can't just sit there in silence and be like, I'll just click left mouse for like half an hour and then now and then in between like little talks I'll maybe say a thing or two. Like,
because then the person might as well just play the damn game themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be actively adding on to the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, it's a last couple of questions, but they're pretty much more in real life than a specific video one. But for the first one, what's the weirdest question you've been asked? If you ever had like a question where you're like, okay, that was weird. It can be even creepy weird or just like wholesome weird.
Kind of funny and creepy. I'll have to give context, but I had a really creepy stalker guy, like way back in the day, and his opening pickup line to me was asking if I liked math. That was like the weirdest thing. He just kind of walked up to me and was like, "Hey, do you like math?" And I was like,
"You're like
no."
Smooth jazz.
Yeah, I was, I think, like maybe 20 years old, and he was probably 40. He was so creepy. He gave me his number and everything too while I was working, so that was definitely one of the creepiest and weirdest things I've ever been at.
Math, what a weird one. What's the worst smelling place or thing you've ever smelled?
Just because of how long it lingers and everything, I am going to say skunk. Because we had a dog that was really stupid and got sprayed several times when I was living in Ontario, because there was like a family of skunks that was living underneath, because we were in it like a converted, it was an old barn that they converted into like a home, and they made a nest or whatever like underneath the house. So every once in a while they'd come out and the dog would scare them and they'd spray everywhere, and it takes days for that smell to go away. Also, you want to hear a good story with that one?
Yeah.
Most embarrassing moment of my entire life was going to school after that happened once and not realizing that it had gotten on my clothes until I got to school, and people started asking if there was a skunk in the school because I got sprayed enough that it was like attached to me.
My dad
so
had
I ended up having to turn around and walk home. I had to turn around and walk home.
My dad had one under his house. It got into the fence. You're kind of sus.
Oh no! Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, the smell is so strong and nothing gets it out. Despite what they tell you, like, I know movies and TV and stuff will tell you that, you know, you wash with tomato juice, it doesn't do anything.
Nope.
I still remember us doing it with our dog, and the dog then smelled like a combination of skunk, wet dog, and tomatoes. And it was like, oh, that's even worse. That's worse. That's worse. What the hell?
Yeah, just use soap. At least it'll be like...
Unfortunately, that doesn't really do much either. Vinegar, oh, okay, that's good to know. I was gonna say in Ontario, they do sell, I don't know what, it's like an enzyme or something that you can spray onto your dog to get it out of the fur, and it at least helps. It helps a little bit, but unfortunately, there's not much you can do about skunk. You just have to wait for it for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. What's the most useless talent you have? What is something you can do that'll never be of use? Or barely is of use?
Oh god.
It doesn't mean like, obviously a drawing or something, but like something like weird, like, oh, I can do this with my body, or I can bend it this way. It's like, well, it's a talent, but it's not useful.
Do I have a talent that's not useful? I don't feel like I have many talents, period, honestly.
Well, if it's not, then it's not, man. You don't have to come up with one if you don't have one, I think.
I don't think
Sid didn't have one either.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, honestly. I don't think I really have any special talents.
And then the next question kind of ties into that. What is the most useless piece of knowledge you have?
Oh gosh. Okay, I love questions like that because I love watching shows like QI that are just like random information.
Yeah.
Um, let's see though. I gotta think of a good one.
Cause I came up with this because I watched a video and there was this guy that knows down to the millimeter the average penis size of a beaver. I was like,
Okay, I can give you one. I can give you one really random fact that because I got really interested.
yeah.
After hearing about this animal on QI, that even though they're called crabs, coconut crabs, they drown if they fall into the water, which is why you so often see them like attached to coconuts because they hold onto them for dear life because otherwise they drown.
That is
And if you
so
don't-
funny.
If you don't know what a coconut crab is, by the way, you should look it up. They're scary. They're so massive.
Oh, good
Like-
that you combine. You should look them up with. They're so scary.
Like seriously, like I would. Apparently they taste good. I don't eat seafood, so I wouldn't know. But if I saw one in real life, I think I'd probably turn and run away because they're really big. They're like it's a crab, but it's like the size of like a full-on garbage can.
Right.
So yeah, they look pretty scary, and I mean their claws are strong enough that they can actually break coconuts open with them, which is why they have that name.
Oh, that makes sense. That's a great bottom line. That's thinking that's a great what.
Like they generally like they don't generally bother people or anything, but like they technically they could hurt a person pretty badly because of how strong their pincers are. But
I see.
when I saw them on the show the first time, I was like so terrified of that I needed to go and look it up and find more information because I was so curious.
Right. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing?
Oh God, here's a good story for you about how naive and gullible I was as a kid.
Uh-huh.
You probably are. I shouldn't say. I'm sure you're too young that you wouldn't know this urban legend because it actually gets listed on urban legend sites now. But back when I was in elementary school, there was this website that went around that was called Bonsai Kitties, and it was basically a bunch of people. It was a prank that some college students did that was talking about how you could take kittens and genetically modify them by putting them into like different shaped jars and like keeping them in there and like feeding them by a tube and all that kind of stuff. It was terrifying anyways. Sing knows what I'm talking about, yeah. When I first saw that, I thought it was real. And oddly enough, Pecro's sister and I remember, we started like petitions and like a website and everything about trying to like spread awareness for the cruelty against animals. Apparently the ASPCA in the US actually did an investigation on the people because they also thought it was real. But yeah, no, that one, I got totally bamboozled by that one. I was just so upset that people were hurting. But of course nowadays it's different, you know, because we know more about Photoshop and stuff. But back then,
Yeah.
like,
Definitely.
I mean, I was just a little kid. I didn't know any better. I
Yeah.
saw photos, and that was enough for me to believe it.
Obviously. What's the dumbest way you've been injured?
Oh, this was shortly before I think it was shortly before I started VTubing. I was really stubborn during the winter about bringing the firewood into the house, and
Right.
I thought I could do it just without, you know, making multiple trips. I tried to do everything in one trip, and then because of that, I ended up dropping like an armload of firewood onto my foot, and I ended up having to go to the emergency room. It was one of the most painful experiences of my life.
Oof.
And it was all because I was stubborn and didn't want to make 2 trips to the house.
Oh, well, am I gonna talk about mine? Actually, maybe I should keep this and then I'll just do it on a subathon goal while I'll answer my own questions.
Ooh, That would be a good one. That would be a great subathon goal.
Alright, fuck y'all, you're not getting to learn it today. What's the best, and what is the worst purchase you've ever made?
Oh, that's a tough one. I definitely have bought a lot of stupid shit, and I've definitely bought a lot of really awesome shit.
Yeah, like, sweet spin.
Are you saying that was the best or the worst,
The
though?
best, obviously, hey, yo.
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know if you're bashing her here or not.
No,
but,
no, I love that pin.
Yeah, I do too.
I love how everybody got a personal note that she, like, drew, right, Frank?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that pin. The best, I don't know. I would say my computer, but I didn't buy it, so maybe my Switch. Admittedly, it was one of those things that I didn't know if I was going to get a lot of use out of, but I did, so that's definitely pretty high up there on that list.
Right.
But for worst, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe some game that you didn't like in the end, or it doesn't have to be like the absolute worst.
Oh, I know. Actually, I do have an answer for what the worst one was.
Right.
So when I was in Tokyo, I bought a bunch of dojins. But the thing is, with most dojin shops, you don't actually get to see what's inside. So you can't tell, like, especially if you can't read Japanese very well, which I can't very well. Like, I can a little bit, but I bought. There was 2 dojins, I think, that I bought because they had really cute cover art on them. And let's just say that the stuff that was inside of it was not legal in my country, so I ended up having to resell them while I was there, because they thankfully have places that buy used ones. But
I mean, could have stressed them out, worst case.
I could have, like, my ex ended up tossing a few of the ones he did, but I was able to sell them out.
Thyme was buying porn, ayo.
See, that's just it. I didn't know that they were not safe for work, because you couldn't tell from the cover of them.
Right.
Like, one of them was a Cardcaptor Sakura one. The characters are in 4th grade. I was not thinking that it was going to be anything not safe for work.
Here, but...
And the other one was Angels of Death, which I don't know if anybody else here even knows what that anime/game is, but one of the 2 main characters is underage, so I had no idea, though, that they were not safe for work, and I was pretty horrified when I got back to the apartment and I actually opened them.
Sounds like a great experience you had there.
Oh yeah. Japan was great that way.
The next one, what is your biggest/weirdest fear? And again, it doesn't have to be your all-time biggest fear. It can just be like a weird fear you have, or a small one.
Well, most people know, but like my major phobia is actually vomit. So I would say that is a pretty weird one, because it's something that I can't explain. I've had it since I was, as long as I remember, like since early childhood.
Oh, you told me about that. So
yeah.
were you like repress it, right?
Yeah.
If you had to.
Yeah.
Isn't the... Oh, right, you said I was gonna ask. It's like the feeling, but it's like you can't explain it.
It's... Yeah, no, and and even, like, no matter how, like, ill I am, my body is at the point where it's... Yeah, it's been... I haven't been able to since 2003. So, thankfully, you don't have to worry about me ever having an eating disorder in that way.
What's your... Speaking about food, what's your favorite place to eat?
I mean, it used to be IHOP, admittedly, but there isn't an IHOP on the island, so that makes it a little different.
But is it still your favorite spot? Like, if you could pick?
Maybe one of them. Like, I really like those type of places, like diners or whatever. Places that have all-day breakfast tend to be pretty high up on my list. But Cactus Club is probably my favorite, even though I don't get to go very often because it's pretty expensive. It's I think it's only in Canada at the moment. It's the person who won it actually won Top Chef Canada.
Oh.
That's the guy who ran it, but I've been a big fan of it for a long time.
Right.
It's definitely one of the best, and I had a favorite when I was in Japan too. I wish I could remember. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. But there was a pub that I went to when I was in Japan that was like, it was so great. I absolutely loved going there. It was the only place I think that I went to multiple times when I was in Japan. Just because the food was so damn good and reasonable, and there was good alcohol, which is always a plus.
That's always good to hear.
Yeah.
What's something you would want people? What would you like to be remembered about you?
About me personally, it'd be nice if people.
VTuber-wise, well, it could be like
VTuber-wise?
you as a person as well. But like, let's say you quit, or let's say people like describe you. What's like the one thing you hope like people take away from you?
I'd like to think that, you know, I'd be remembered for my art, obviously, more than most things. But in terms of my personality, I'd like people to remember me as being like a kind and caring sort of a person, because that generally is what I strive to be.
Yeah.
I strive to be a kind person, I would say.
Friendly person, Suspectro.
Which is so funny, because people say that I'm friendly, but I always feel like I'm super not friendly and anxious and awkward.
That doesn't really mean that you're not friendly. If you're like a bit antisocial or awkward, it doesn't mean that like once you do talk to someone, you're not friendly.
Yeah. I do know too, though, that I come across way better
It gets a
to
little...
other people.
It doesn't get
I'm
a
good at
little...
hiding it.
It gets like a little... It takes a little while for you to like get going, but like once you do get going,
Yeah.
I'd say that you're pretty chill. Like it's like you can't have an interaction with you and be like, okay, no, that person isn't just like, you know, just very like wholesome and sweet and just there for you.
Yeah, and that's definitely what I strive for, because that's the person I want to be.
Hell yeah. Who would you like to collaborate with? Is like any person where you're like, I would like to do a collab with them, but you haven't yet?
That I haven't yet. That's a hard one. There's so many freaking awesome VTubers out there. Let's see. I mean, admittedly, I'd be kind of starstruck if I was able to do one with Lumi, because I think Lumi is adorable as all hell. And I think I would have a hell of a lot of fun with her.
Yeah.
I would probably fangirl just a little bit.
Imagine fangirling over someone, dude. Cringe. I would never.
But yeah, I think if I could pick anybody, it would or any like famous person, it would probably be Lumi, because I think that I'd have a really good time with her.
Oh yeah. What's the best/worst date you've had?
Oh man, that is a good question. Can't actually say that I've been on too many like super like creative or interesting dates. I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, most people aren't super big into that nowadays.
Yeah, dating is so old, dude.
I mean, part of that is probably because, I mean, I'm agoraphobic, so it's not like I get out very much, but, I mean, even though it wasn't technically a date, my ex-husband and I did a sort of Valentine's date thing to our local convention, and I did really enjoy that. I thought that was a really cool sort of date thing, because we did that, we'd only been going out for a couple months the first time, and it was a really fun way to get to know each other and just get to do goofy, silly things.
And things that you enjoy better than just sitting in a
Yeah.
restaurant. Not that there's anything wrong with a date to a restaurant, but
Yeah.
it's more typical, you know? This is really personalized.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's if you have a partner that you can share something like that with, that's a great way to just go and have fun and again get to know each other without it being like super awkward or anything, because there's always lots of stuff to do and
Right.
people to talk to and keep you busy, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
For worst, I mean, I don't know if it counts or not, because it was like right when we hadn't 100% established we were dating or not,
Yeah.
but it was a coffee shop thing, but it was like my cat had just died and we went out for coffee. Like he asked if I wanted to go out for coffee, but then I ended up paying for myself and everything, and it was just kind of, it was very weird.
Yeah, kind of like.
And I was like upset the whole time.
At the end, you're like,
that was also with my ex-husband. Funny enough.
Nice. He had both.
Yeah.
Alright, I have one more question in the end, and then I've also looked through your Twitter a little and picked out 2 tweets. And they're not specific tweets. But the first tweet that I noticed, and you sometimes tweet on this, but definitely you tweet about Pokemon, and I know that you're into Pokemon. So, what are actually 5 of your favorite Pokemons?
Generally, when people ask me about Pokemon, I just am like, take all the evolutions, and I'll take all of them, because I love them.
If you have to pick 5, you have to pick 5. You have to cut some out.
All of the evolutions.
No, you have to pick.
Because I love them. I love all of them.
It's time to old yeller a few of them.
If I'm only allowed to pick like one of the evolutions, it would be Vaporeon, definitely. Like
I can pick multiple, but just only 5.
It's been my favorite since like the original like TV show as a kid.
Right. Why? What do you like about it? Is it like the design or like?
Yeah, I love the design. I think it's super cute. Because it kind of looks like a fox or a cat crossed with like a mermaid or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the tail. I like the tail a lot.
The mermaid tail is so cute.
I like the fin on the back. I'll say that the ones around the face are like a bit odd, but...
Yeah. But other than that though, like, I don't know, I've always really liked it, and it was the first evolution that I ever had in a Pokemon game. But, other than, like, let's see, so I actually really like like, Eevee itself is, I think, like, one of the cutest fucking Pokemon, and I absolutely love and adore Eevee and would love to have one in real life, if that was possible. Just, I love cute and fluffy things.
Should've rang.
I also really like, Mew is definitely one of my favorites because of the original Pokemon movie.
Yeah. I wonder what it feels like to pet a Vaporeon, since there's no fur, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's, like, I love Vaporeon, but Eevee is definitely, like, more cute and cuddly looking.
Well, you don't know how it would feel, because is it, like, slippery? Are you, like, holding a slippery fish, or...?
Yeah, I know, it is kind of a weird question, because the rest of them, for the most part, look like they're fluffy, but Vaporeon I don't think would be fluffy.
Yeah, probably not.
But Flareon is probably, like, another really close one for me, because, again, I've been playing the game since the first one on a black and white Game Boy, and I always had a hard time. I always either picked Vaporeon or Flareon back then, and again, Flareon just looks so damn cuddly and cute. I would love to have one. It's probably, like, also really nice and warm, so...
Yeah, definitely.
I think that'd be pretty great. I also I've never used it in my party, but I also have like a really big love for like Skitty. I think Skitty is cute as hell.
Skitty looks great, it's just fucking useless, that's the sad thing. It's useless,
yeah. And I mean, like, my favorite starter is probably Litten so far. I really liked Litten a lot.
And then they evolve into that fucking monstrosity, like, yeah, basically.
It grew on me, admittedly, like, I ended up, it grew on me. I really was happy I ended up going with Litten, even though I was not super fond of the last evolution, but I thought that Litten, again, was really cute. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of cats, so, I mean, kind of biased on that one.
That still sucks even when it evolved. It didn't grow on me at all. I still think it sucks.
I thought it was kind of, it reminded me of Tony the Tiger, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Right.
I'm still a little, I'm worried, I'm really curious to see what Weed Kitty's end evolution is gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not gonna be horrible.
I mean, we already saw, like, what was it, Smolip and Lechonk, so I mean, this is gonna be a good gen. Except
They have
the,
some really cute ones,
except
that's
the
for
fucking
sure.
legendaries looking like motorcycles, but we'll figure it out.
I think, yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with the new gen that way, but I'm hoping they do something good with that one, because I'm partial to cat Pokemon, obviously, so I'd be really happy if that one ended up having like some really cool one.
Oh,
Like, I really
hey!
like
This is
Delcatty,
great.
and I really like Spinda.
I
And
got an achievement on Twitch. It's like get 10 people chatting at the same time, but I unlocked additional VIP badges, so that's great.
hell yeah, that's awesome!
Good to know. There's actually a point in doing it.
Yay, that's awesome!
Who was the 10th then? Probably Pekro actually replying. The thing.
Probably.
Yeah, no, because he talked before. I don't know who was the 10th actually. Okay, and then another thing that I noticed is, well, obviously you're pretty open about like retweeting stuff when you're like having a little less of a great day, or when other people are having like a little less of days, or like sometimes you just retweet like messages encouraging people to like feel better about themselves or things. I know that you definitely use your platform a lot for that. Is that like a conscious thing where you like retweet it to help yourself, or is like
A bit of both. Mental health is really important to me, not just because of my own, but a lot of people know. But there's some people with some pretty serious mental health issues in my family. So
nice?
I like to do what I can to use whatever platform I have to try to bring awareness and speak up for that. And also, again, I like to think of myself as being a pretty kind and compassionate person. I don't like seeing people sad and suffering.
Yeah.
I've never liked seeing people, even as a kid, I never liked seeing a kid get left out or anything and not have any friends. And I've always tried to be that person that will be a person's friend if they have nobody else. That's just kind of...
Sure. Only if they
who I
have
am.
no one else, then you'll be like, okay, I guess I'll be your friend.
Well, generally it's actually because I'm super shy, so I generally kept to myself, but
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that's a really nice way to use your social platform.
yeah,
Definitely,
I think it's important.
even to me, like sometimes you retweet something, I'm like, yeah, you know, that does send a really good message. Or like, yeah, well, you know what, I kind of needed this today, and like Sweet did it recently as well. It's like, it's always nice that people do it. It's nice when they don't just spam it like every single day,
Yeah.
because then you kind of get into the, well, you know, I don't know about this. Like, you know, you're just
Yeah.
doing it for the sake of doing it. But like when it's
Yeah.
like genuine, like you are now, it's like. It really, it
Yeah.
feels like, okay, you know, this is great. I'm glad
Yeah,
that there are people out here that do this.
I genuinely care about people, and I do try to make sure that I get that across, even if some of my, obviously there's some of my mutuals, a lot of them, in fact, that I don't know that well, because like I said, I'm pretty bad about responding to DMs and stuff, just because whenever I get more than like 2 or 3 of them, I get overwhelmed and I shut down and I stop answering because I panic. But even if I don't talk to somebody all the time, anybody that I've really spoken to that I know is a good person, they matter to me. And
Yeah.
there's too many people out there nowadays that I think that are selfish and just don't give a shit about other people, but I try really hard, no matter how much I get fucked over, I try really hard not to be one of those people.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the reason that a person stays alive. Because everybody has bad days, everybody needs a friend, everybody deserves to be loved and respected. And yeah, that's why I try really hard to just be kind and open with people for the most part in general.
Yeah. I definitely, it's really like, we need more people like that just genuinely do that. I always thought that was a nice thing, so I noticed one of those tweets. I was like, yeah, no, I'll mention that quickly. And then finally, it's like, do you have any, or what are your plans for like the near future or like far future? You already obviously mentioned trying to go for partner.
Yes, I would definitely like to do that, or I keep doing that anyways. Keep keep doing my own thing. As you know, and a few other people know, I've been talking with Spuff about helping me out with learning how to make live 2D and do rigging and stuff, and I'm hoping that I can do it. It looks really complicated, but at the same time, it's something that I really like to do. I'd like to be able to make my own model. I think that'd be... Because, I mean, I had thought about commissioning someone, but price aside, I feel like it wouldn't have my sort of essence in the same way as it would if I drew it myself, because I know that my style's kind of its own thing. It's kind of unique, and it's, you know, it sets me apart from other people, so I'd really like to be able to do it myself.
Yeah.
And apart from that, like I said, I have been talking to several VTuber friends about possibly still trying to work on a game, and fingers crossed, I would be really happy if I managed to do it. I don't know for sure that it'll happen, but I know that I at least have a couple coder friends that are interested in helping me out with it, so I think that'd be pretty freaking sweet, especially if I could make like a VTuber related visual novel or something.
Yeah, definitely. It would be cool to see like what you come up with once you're like working and tinkering around with that stuff.
Yeah, I think
and
it'd be
obviously
really awesome.
streaming some more novel games.
Yeah, I haven't actually. It's funny. I haven't streamed a visual novel in quite a while now.
Yeah. You mentioned it. You mentioned it earlier. There were so many people in chat that were like, "Yeah, fuck it, you should do it." Now you should just definitely do it.
See, what's really funny is before Nightmare like retired from VTubing, or at least he's taking a break. I don't know if he's gonna come back, but it was me, him, Pokin, and Mayim were originally talking about finding like an Otome visual novel, and then instead of, you know, them having their whatever, if they have voices or not in the game, having like them do the voices of the guy characters and reading out the lines, and then I would do the protagonist voice. And if I could find people to do that still, I probably, enough people I should say that still want to do that, I might do that at some point, because I think it would be really fun. But yeah, I said obviously it kind of got put on the back burner, especially since Nightmare is not streaming anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, I'll play like some awkward fucking, I don't know, machine in the corner with a robotic high-pitched voice. Because that's what I sound like with the thing.
I love that sort of thing. I think visual novels are awesome, and they don't get a whole lot of attention from most gamers, and I think that's honestly a shame, because some days you just don't have the energy for a game that's like takes a lot of reflexes and, you know, actual like thought process, if you will. Like, at least for me, games like Dead by Daylight, I have to really be able to focus on it, otherwise I'm just gonna die. But if I'm just kind of wanting to chill, I think visual novels are really great for that. Same with farming games, admittedly. Like, that's one of the reasons I like them so much.
Yeah.
Which I'll definitely be streaming more of those. I still have the one Digimon game that I've been planning to stream. Obviously, it's one I was holding off on, but now I'm not 100% sure when that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna see how I feel about it before I make a decision on it. And I was going to stream playing Rune Factory, but I think most people already know, but I did already beat the storyline for it. So, whoops! I got way too carried away and too excited and had too much fun with it, so I already beat it.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll just do a replay of it.
Possibly. I have so many games though that I want to play.
If it takes the fun out of it for you, then obviously no. But like, if it doesn't like take the fun out of you, and you're like, oh yeah, I'd play that again. Why not? Just play for it twice.
I might. But I do have like a lot of others. I still want to go back and play more of Brookhaven, because I only did the one stream, and there's quite a few more coming out. I have so many. I actually have like a stack of Otome games that have come out over the last couple of months that I haven't been able to play, that I've been considering maybe streaming once I get the Elgato working again. And then there's more of like the Otome Game Jam, obviously just finished recently, and I'd like to play some of the like winner games on stream, I think would be really cool, especially because I want to see what they're like. I think it would be helpful for me in terms of coming up with my own game potentially to make if I decide to go that route.
Oh, hell yeah.
And generally, I figure, yeah, playing through other people's like entries to those like indie game jams are a good way to see what people are interested in. So
yeah, I definitely think that would be a nice idea.
And more, I'd like to do more horror games too, because
yeah,
I'm too much of a
love those.
by myself, honestly. Like I can't really play them without somebody with me. So playing them on stream generally seems like it works pretty well, because it was before I met you, but that was one of the our first games, and it's the only game I think that I've actually 100% completed on stream was Detention, and it was a horror game.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, that kind of does it for my questions. That was the last one.
We've been going almost 3 hours.
2 hours and 50 minutes. Hell, I mean, it really depends. Like, sometimes I have some questions that I can, like, go in on and I can keep asking about. And sometimes it's, like, very, like, short-ish. Me and Ray went for, like, a good, I think, hour or two. Because, like, with Ray, I think with Sid it was, like, a bit shorter. Because I didn't have much content back then. I was like, okay, what am I gonna ask now? So literally, we kind of blast through that list, and Jim was also the type of person that's like question, answer. That way, you get derailed a lot less quickly.
And I do agree with you, Galaxy. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is important that you make a game that you enjoy, because, I mean, how is anyone else gonna like it if you don't?
Yeah, if you're like making something that you expect that others will want you to make and not like something you enjoy making, then yeah, you might as well not do it because you don't like that.
Mm-hmm. And you're less likely to complete it if it's something that you don't even care about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let me see actually who's live and I'll find someone to raid, but yeah, thank you for joining. That was really fun, and there was so much stuff about you that I personally didn't know.
I'm an old lady, so I have lots of lots of stories to tell.
I mean, it's definitely like some of the things that you wouldn't normally ask. I'm like, oh hey, I didn't know this was going on. I'm like, okay, that's how you feel about this, or that's how you feel about that.
That's why I like the talk show ideas. I think they're so much fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. At first, I was just really like worried about like the fact that I was like, am I gonna keep like questioning for long enough? Is it gonna stay like interesting enough? Also, you're not old, Pecco's right. You're not that old. Come on.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, well, raining confetti. You know my raid emote, so go bully her. Yeah, you're not old.
Yeah.
Also, Greg, you weren't boring. You and I actually went for like a really long time as well. So I don't remember how long we went for.
I bet I missed that.
Yeah, I don't. Wait, did we even do it on? Yeah, no, Rain. Did we do it on stream? I think we did. Yeah, we did it, but it was like after one of my other streams, so it wasn't like announced as like a specific stream. I was done playing, so I was like, well, Rang, if you feel like it, we could do it.
Yeah, it's too bad. I would have liked to have watched that, but it must have been a day that I wasn't around.
If I get like enough new questions, I might like redo one with him. It's just that for now, like these are still pretty much the exact same questions. So I would be asking him like again the same shit. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm glad that we got to collab again because the fun is still there. Oh, the fun is still there. Well then, just link Thyme the VOD and I should check that. And then, yeah, good night, everyone. And I'll definitely see you and Ray and the others on Discord.
Yes. Take care, guys.
And there you go.